Ew.
What is good?
Nothing much. Oh God. Oh, okay.
Feels like it's been a long week, honestly, but I need
Yeah.
to like get in the deep. This week.
Today, even, it just felt like it was just dragging. I'm like,
I think daylight savings is fucking me up. I think that's what. I like woke up early and I was like,
I think it might be because of the time change.
yeah, that too. And also, I'm like, I keep stressed about election stuff. No, I'm not.
True.
what sucks about the time change is that not every country does the time change at the same time.
Yeah, like I think the UK did like a month or two ago. It was weird.
Like, I don't know about the UK, but Germany changed theirs in October. Even
Yeah,
though
I think
technically
that-
it's supposed to be sometime this month, like early month.
Yeah, it's like really antiquated. From what I understand, like the only relevant thing it's like important for is like for farmers and shit. So like it's
Yep.
actually according to they wake up and farm stuff. But still, that's like
Yeah, where literally I'm sitting here going like, all right, so what time adjustment do I need so I could associate with the buddies out in the European areas? And I'm like, fuck, because I got the mount farm I do earlier in the day, and I'm like, all right, is it 1, 2, or 3 different times? Because for whatever reason, it's like either it could be an hour later, hour early, or it's just on time. And it's just like, which of the 3 are you? And I'm sitting there like 2 hours early, going, all right,
yeah.
anyone say anything? And literally, it got to the point that it's like right on the nose of like on time. We started, and I'm like, we're missing half the people.
What the fuck
The
do
fuck they
farmers
go?
need clocks for?
Oh no,
Use
they
the
wanted
sun.
To,
Stupid.
You
they
fucking
wanted to change to the sun.
y'all been farming
schedule.
for 10,000 years without a clock, and now you invented and like some farmer figured out what clocks were, and then he's like, "Hey, everybody,
He's like,
turn
how
your
do I
clocks
make-
back." You
How do I
sons
make
of
this
bitch.
about me?
So shut the fuck up, you stupid motherfucker.
If my sunrise doesn't look the same every week, I'm gonna freak out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna freak
it's like,
out.
hey, dumbass, shut up, idiot. God, I agree with that one girl who went on TikTok, or that one guy, or whoever it was. Someone said farming should be like abolished, because it's bad for the ecosystem. I agree, actually, because farmers
Yeah,
are making us
base,
turn our
honestly.
clocks back. Fuck them. I never met a cool farmer other than
The
a
hell do these
beekeeper.
farmers think they are?
Yeah, who the fuck do you think you are? I don't care if you provide my food. I can get my own. Fuck.
I'll go forage or some bullshit. I don't
Mhm.
care.
I'll
Throw
go
them in
like
labs.
I'll go-
Science wins.
I'll go like a hunter and gather at like Kroger or something. I'll
Go-
figure it
I'll
out.
go like hunter and snort cocaine or something.
Mhm,
I don't know.
mhm.
I'll start hunting at Kroger.
I don't need a farmer to deliver me fucking produce anyway. God damn it. That pisses me off. That makes me genuinely angry that farmers like we gotta turn our clocks up. Cause I was at work last night. I was chilling, and it was 1 a.m. and it was about to be 2 a.m. and I was like, oh shit, only four more hours to go. And then it hit 1 a.m. again, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck? This is
Yep.
bullshit. I have to be here for fucking 9 hours. Anyway. How was everyone's week?
Sucks.
Yeah,
like
boring.
11.
Yeah.
And then the fun thing of working on the car.
Yeah.
Wage slaving.
Yeah. My week
Only broke 2
substitute.
bolts.
That's cool.
Hey, let's go.
You can start a
But-
free the laborer
Hey,
from his bondage of capitalism.
break 2 more, and you can say you have a collection. Start
Well, the
collecting
first
broken-ass
2 bolts I actually broke on the car.
Oh,
Too.
nice.
Thankfully, they're easy ones because these were connected to the radiator
Mhm.
fans.
Yeah.
So literally, we need to take it off anyway. So we're like, all right, done.
Yeah.
But the stupid thing is that we're sitting there taking it apart. We forgot to take the cross member out. It would have made our lives so much easier.
I hate it when I forget to take my member out.
Dude, that's what I called the church, bro. When I walk in, I feel like cross member. What's up?
How do you do, fellow cross members?
Hey, yo, I'm gonna leave the Discord.
I'm more than a great supporter as a
that
cross
that
member.
wasn't funny.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, is this the cross club?
Yeah, yo, cross
Is this where
gang.
the cross club meets?
Yeah, yo, cross gang, rise up.
Yo, does their cross member go CrossFit?
Yeah.
Cross gang, let's rise up like our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ after 3 days.
I met a guy who he thought like when Jesus was risen, he always thought it was fucked up because he thought that like that was the part when they lifted the cross up during his crucifixion, not when he came back from the dead. So he was like, "Why is that the part that you got?" He's like,
Just did this a bit.
No, he believed it. He like didn't know.
Yeah.
He the part where like because when you're getting crucified, they like lift you up to stand you up on the cross, and that's the part he thought they were talking about. I'm like, why the fuck would that be? Why? What do you?
They just write songs about that in particular.
Yeah, like, dude, what kind of torture porn? Like, Catholics are weird, but what kind of fucked up shit do you think they're worshiping? I mean, it is weird. But still.
You think when Jesus rose from the dead, he had morning wood?
Yeah, probably. Because I would imagine it'd be like waking up from like a food coma. And I'm
Don't
hard
get
as
wrong.
fuck.
Don't dead bodies get like boners anyway.
Do you get a morning wood when you wake up from a food?
That was gonna be the joke, yeah.
Well, then again, Powerwolf literally had a song that was "Resurrection by Erection."
Yeah, see, Powerwolf gets it.
That
They
was about
figured me-
Jesus.
That's
Yeah, I
about
think
me,
that's
dog.
called rigor mortis or something, where like they just
Yeah.
get all stiff everywhere.
Rigor-
Oh,
Mortis is
wait,
the
wait,
sucking
wait,
of
do you
the
think
body.
it'd be like
they
the
get
opposite?
boners when they die
So,
sometimes.
so,
Called Dick Erectus.
so do you think he would have woken up, been hard as fuck, but he would have lost it instantly, and he would have been really upset? He'd be like, "No, they can't see me like this."
Yeah, it's like I can't go to heaven dressed
They're
like this.
They're standing outside the cave. Jesus, are you awake? And he's like, "Give me like 10 minutes."
Furiously masturbating.
He's like, "Come
I
on,
mean, he
wake
has
up!"
something to assist it.
He's like, "Come on, dude. I
Do
can't
you
be
guys
seen
think
like
Jesus
this."
would have participated in No Nut November?
I don't think Jesus. I think he was too much of a pussy to nut. I feel like he would have been mad that his dad would have gotten yelled at him. I don't think he ever did nut. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
He was a nutless man.
Probably.
He was a never nutter.
Yeah.
Never know.
Never nutter. Never.
Never nutter peanut butter.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. I just couldn't find a way to make it work. Thank you for getting those things.
Looking stupid. Stupid telepathy.
Awesome. Oh man, what time is it? 5:30 yet? Fuck. It's only
Yeah.
5:07. No. Why?
Because reasons.
No, not reasons.
Raisins.
Not raisins.
And
Who
the
put these-
craisins.
Who put these raisins in my never nutter peanut butter?
Okay, hold on. Which group of white people puts raisins in a potato salad? I want to know who does that. Is that a thing
Which
we-
group?
Is that a
Like,
thing we do? Is that a thing we do?
Is
No.
I think
which
that's a
which
archetype
clan of
thing.
white people do you belong to?
Well, yeah, because I know I definitely don't do it, and I've never met any white people that
It kind
do.
of strikes me as a Midwest thing.
It's like a joke that white people do it, but I've never actually met any white people that have done it.
I've
Like,
only ever met white
anyone.
people that are like, that's psychotic. Who does that? Is it
Yeah.
only the KKK? Like, who does it?
It must be, because it's like a
They're
joke.
calling
that white
Connor,
people
can you
put raisins
confirm?
That I've never met.
Yeah, they do.
Do
Honestly.
they?
Yeah.
Well, I also heard they do some good fried chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
That's something.
Don't make that joke.
Don't,
No,
don't,
don't make that joke. Don't make that
don't.
joke.
Stop right
Don't-
there. Stop right
That's man. So much was said with nothing. That was awesome.
You know, like when a bomb goes off and you get the shockwave before the actual.
That's. Hey Conrad, that's the funniest joke you've never said. Because I knew exactly where that was going.
Yeah.
Shockwave did that psychically.
You can hear it. That's awesome.
The shock heard around the world, honestly.
Turn the stream off. Anyway.
That that rocked the internet.
Yeah. PewDiePie said the N-word. I think this joke would be.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say he did it again. I was like, again?
No, I don't think he did it again.
PewDiePie actually made this joke.
Yeah.
Damn it.
We're just quoting someone.
Yeah, we're
It's
copying
not
PewDiePie,
racist if you
honestly.
quote a guy.
It's not racist if PewDiePie.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. What the fuck is he doing nowadays? Is he dead or something?
No, he streams.
What the fuck?
Not a lot of people know this, but PewDiePie is actually black.
Oh, that's cool. Good for him.
Yeah, so he had the N-word.
Yeah. They just didn't see it.
You know how there's like black Israelites?
Yeah.
I think there should be like black PewDiePie truthers.
There's like a subsect of his community that all think that's so weird. Why would they think
He's secretly black?
why would they think that?
I'm blind.
Why would they think that?
Dude, it's so funny. The black Israelites will say some shit like, "Oh, Shakespeare was black."
It's like, huh?
White people have fur. Did you know that?
Yeah,
That's
they
my
do,
favorite.
honestly.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
Buy
wish
skin
I
and
had
then sell their pelts to fur traders.
I do have fur.
Would you guys rather have like hair or fur, like on your head, like a patch of like dog fur or like hair?
I feel like if we
It-
all had fur, we would look like members of the Beatles at all times.
In what situation?
I don't know.
Like, is there a benefit to fur?
I don't know. I just feel like fur is like softer. I don't know. I think it would be like kind of cooler.
I
don't know.
like
Maybe
the
we-
hair. You might not know, Melody, but the hair of like your beard is like rougher than the hair of your like top of your head.
Yeah, I know. I know.
So I don't
the
know if like you
same.
can make a generalization about the consistency.
Well,
that
I just
makes
mean
any
like
sense?
I just generally speaking, I feel like dog fur is always gonna be like kind of softer than human hair, regardless of where in your body it is. So I feel like it'd
Yeah,
be kind
I
of.
think they have like an undercoat thing. Often,
Yeah, I think
and,
some
like,
breeds
maybe
do.
I
act
feel like
the
their
soft-
hair doesn't get as oily as ours.
I
Is
also
that the
feel
thing?
like maybe it doesn't get matted because hair gets tangled super easily, and then I feel like
Dog hair does get
it
extremely
does,
matted.
but it'd be a lot easier to take care of though. Like dogs can't brush their own fur. I feel like it'd be a lot easier because it's like shorter, right? Hair gets like tangled and shit.
Well, when you get to like the longer breeds, it's just as difficult as the people's hair.
I don't mean like a Shetland sheepdog or something.
This is a very funny response Google just came up with. So I googled. I was like, what's the difference between hair and fur? And the first
What's the
response,
deal with
the
hair
first
and fur?
response is that they are indistinguishable. They're chemically the exact same thing, and the only difference is that one is on a dog and the other's on a guy.
That's not true though, because some
Yeah.
people are like when they
Follicle
get
count
allergies.
also changes.
That's
Well,
that's
some
what
people-
big that's what big grew that's what big grew
Yeah,
went to.
yeah.
Some
no.
people have like allergies to dogs, and they can get like poodles and shit because poodles have hair, quote unquote, and not fur. So
I
there's gotta be a
think,
difference because
there's
like allergies.
there's like a lot of diversity in like dog fur, and I feel like
Yeah.
it's pretty comfortable to the diversity.
I mean, yeah, it's the same, but I think it's like the same thing as like human hair, though, right? I mean,
The only
I don't-
difference is like
technically it's the
the
same thing.
follicle
I would imagine
density.
I
maybe
mean,
dogs
I
have
feel
different-
I feel like our species has more to do with why our hair is different than the fact that
Also, like underneath our
hair
hair
is
is like
different
bone. It's like
arbitrarily.
pretty. Like underneath our hair is like bone, right? Basically, there's like half an.
Yeah, there's like
I
a
mean,
tiny.
like,
bit.
Yeah, I don't think we
There's-
have under.
there's skin.
on the outside.
We don't have like undercoats. I don't think. I think dogs have like a different thing going on there that like causes it to grow differently. And
Yeah, some dogs have.
We
the
also
other-
have less hair density. Follicle.
But if
Yeah.
it's all
Yeah,
basically
it's less
the
dense.
same thing, then why would some people have allergies to like certain furs, but then like a poodle is hypoallergenic or whatever?
hold on, let's Google.
I think
Like
maybe
in
certain
the
furs
lactose
they
intolerant
carry,
person
like,
drinks
allergies
allergics.
better.
Two.
Because like with
Fol-
cats, it's
fol-
not fur,
fol-
it's the spit, apparently.
If all humans can produce milk, then why are some lactose intolerant?
We're not
oh,
as, we're not as
oh,
big.
that's interesting. Actually, that is interesting. It isn't hair that's causing the allergies. It's a protein. Basically,
Oh,
you
the spit?
you react specifically to the proteins contained in pet saliva, urine, and dander, or dead skin cells.
Okay.
that
I knew that was for
disperse-
cats. Not about a dog.
I guess that's how. Yeah, pet hair can also trap mold, pollen, and other outdoor allergens.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how it works.
Yeah, because they have a denser follicle density, so
Wow.
you can actually trap stuff.
Yo,
That's interesting.
that's freaking crazy, dog. Hey, yo,
That's pretty neat.
Hey, yo, science, you fucked up, man.
Yeah, science, bitch.
Yo, yo, Mr. White, science, bitch. yo, Mr. White. You watched the latest
finally
episode of
getting
Goon
into-
Squad? They talked about dog hair for a really long time, bitch.
It's not the
I'm
worst
finally getting into
conversation.
Breaking Bad like 6 years late.
Oh,
Yeah, same.
it's
Yeah, same. It's
I've
pre-
never watched it.
It's I think it's funnier to me than it should be. Like I feel like it's kind of
Yeah.
a black, it's kind of a
It
black
is really-
comedy.
It is really funny.
Yeah, it's
Well,
like
now
a
there's all the memes and shit, so you can't watch it like without
true,
thinking
true.
about.
But I think it's better this way. I think I'm having more. fun
Skylar
with
White, yo.
Boom.
Science.
it. Hey, oh, Mr. White.
That fucking meme absolutely kills me every time I see it.
It's so
Yeah. Well, my name is Skylar White, yo.
boom.
My husband is Walter White, yo.
And then, like the
Boom.
body goes flying across the room.
Yeah.
Jesse, the fuck you talking about?
So we
It's
have
so
to cook
funny how many people
cocaine.
hate Skylar.
People really do hate Skylar, and I feel like she was right. Like she's
He's
Yeah,
busting
I
my
think-
balls over here. Come
Yeah.
on,
Yeah,
man.
they're like missing the point. They're like,
Like she,
I-
like I mean,
She's
I
busting my balls. She
I
won't
mean,
let me
I
cook
I
meth.
guess she's kind of like rude to like service workers, and she has the whole like weird Karen thing going on. But also, I mean, yeah, she was pretty like fair to be mad at her husband who was being a psycho.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
saying she's like a great person, but I also feel like her husband is like a kingpin.
Yeah, he's bad.
So
He's very obviously the bad guy.
I
Yeah.
never got over in the beginning when those rich people were like, "We'll pay for your treatment," and he was just like, "No." I was like, "Fuck this guy." Actually,
Well, yeah.
I never got over. I'm so mad about that still.
Hey, I will say,
What
I
what kind of beta male lets rich people pay for his cancer
will
surgery?
say
Come
that
on.
guy, so like his best friend or whatever, because I think that happens at his birthday, his friend's birthday that he goes to.
yeah,
and
it's
he
like
gives him
super
ramen.
early on.
Can I just say that scene was weird because that is like a 40, 50-year-old man opening up his birthday presents in front of his other 50 to 40-year-old friends. Isn't that weird? Like that, it gave me like weird vibes, right? He was like
Yeah,
opening
it's
up
kinda
all these
public,
gifts,
kinda-
kind of like a child. I don't know. I feel like that's weird. I feel like I wouldn't want to do that.
I'm trying to think of adult parties I've been to. I don't remember
Has that ever happened to you as like an adult birthday party? I don't think people do that anymore once you're an
I
adult.
don't think so.
I think you just open
if
it.
you give someone when you're alone, right? And then you thank them later.
If I go to like an adult birthday party, I just like give them their gift in a Kroger pack.
Yeah,
I'm not doing all that goofy bullshit. We're grown.
yeah.
Seems awkward.
I'm lazy. I'll usually just like buy a bottle of something.
Yeah, you lose a bottle. Or
And just like give them enough money to cover their cancer treatment.
I am. Yeah. To cure his incurable illness. I mean, it's fun to watch, right? But it's because I think it's fun because he's the villain. But it gets weird when people are like, it's like watching Death Note. Like, you know,
I was literally about to say Death Note.
yeah, Light is the bad guy. He's not good in any sense. That's why you can enjoy it. But could you imagine? Well, I'm sure people actually did do this when Death Note was more popular.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers were like,
For
"Light's
white knighting for light.
yeah, Light's based actually. He totally.
Yeah.
He should have emotionally.
People still do that on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
It's like
I do
people
think
not getting like
watching-
Fight Club or whatever.
Yeah, I do think watching Breaking Bad like this, like afterwards, when you know some of the context and like memes and shit, makes it like a pretty decent.
Yeah, it's just like, oh yeah, this guy's a bad guy, and he's not. He feels like he's not living up to his shitty potential, and so he's gonna do.
Yeah, I definitely had anxiety trying to pull it. The fuck?
Is
Where's
Don
this been?
crackly for anyone else? Because he's
He is.
Yeah.
Actually.
What?
Yeah,
I'm
fuck.
crack. I'm crackling.
I am the one who
Yeah.
I am the one who crackles.
I was just trying to make sure it was my side first before
Yeah,
I
I
say
wasn't
anything.
sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm crackly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
we can understand you, but it is a little crackly.
Crackly bitch.
It's like something's making.
I'll
He's
leave it.
dead.
Damn.
You killed him.
I am the new dungeon master now.
I am the one who cracks.
Okay. Tell me, is it still crackle? Crackle.
No, it sounds fine now.
It seemed like it.
Pretty
Okay.
good.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I decided I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave the Discord. I unplugged my mic, and then I physically slapped it, and then plugged it back in. So I
Yeah,
guess
that'll
that
do it.
I guess that worked. It.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To where all you have to do is just give it a little oomph.
Yeah.
Trigger Mike, who's boss.
Slapping things does work. Sorry, it just does.
Percussive
Yeah.
Yeah.
maintenance.
Tell that to my wife. Sorry.
You know
Well,
what
that-
I'm saying? bro?
That one
Bitch,
wasn't
X
funny.
flag.
It was just there.
She burns my dinner. Gotta restart that bitch.
I'm like desensitized to burnt food. Someone hands me
You're
something
about to
that's
say you're desensitized to domestic abuse.
I thought you were gonna say- Damn, maybe we make these jokes too much then.
desensitized.
I think there
to
would
too
be a
much.
problem if we're all laughing at that and we're like, huh, there's something wrong here.
I feel like some foods like take being burned better than others. Like some foods, if they're burned to shit, I'm like, this is fine. But then other foods, if
Like a
it's even
marshmallow.
slightly, yeah, like
Yeah.
that's good.
You
I
can
like
you
that.
can burn a marshmallow. I think it's because the inside gets better.
Yep.
And so the outside
Well,
provides. an
Even like
interesting-
bacon though, like even if that's burned to shit, that's not the way I prefer it. But I'll eat fucking burned to shit bacon. It's
I
fine.
mean,
I'll-
bacon's
I'll,
good in any way, shape,
I'll
or
get
form.
cancer. I don't care if it's a carcinogen, whatever.
Yeah, especially as like someone who like cooks a lot. Like, if I fuck up, I'm not gonna do the work again. I'm
Oh no, it's
power
over.
through.
I made this mistake.
I accept this fate.
Yeah.
I actually like burnt popcorn.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I think if it's like very slightly burnt, it's okay. If it's like completely blackened, it's
Oh yeah.
and like just
Yeah.
like crumbles, it's disgusting.
It's ashes in your mouth.
Yeah, that's too
Well,
burnt.
yeah, that's basically inedible. Once it loses its structural integrity because you burnt it so bad, I think it.
Yeah,
I
honestly, it's
consider
pretty
that
hard.
a phenomenon if you're able to burn to shit that it just disintegrates, but it still has its form when you shake it out.
Oh, I've done that.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to fuck up popcorn, I will say, but people still manage.
Yeah.
All
I've,
you
uh,
have to do.
I've attempted to cook a fucking.
Follow the damn drain.
You'll ever be making like a frozen hot corn dog and you be putting that shit in? You're like, I'll put it in for 1 minute, and you put it in for 10, and then you forget.
It
I've done that.
is
Y'all
like,
ever-
damn.
went to go make that instant like 99-cent ramen and you forgot to put water in it, and so you just stick that bitch in the
Oh my
microwave.
God, dude.
Yeah, I've done that. It ruins my whole day.
Burned. Smells like shit. Burning styrofoam.
I've never had the
Delicious.
99-cent ramen.
You ever had the cup ramen?
Never had the cup nut ramen.
Um,
I've always had the.
I've had it. It has too much.
It
It
fills
tastes
you up.
way too salty, and like
Yeah.
it makes me feel like shit like an hour later.
Yeah.
If you're poor and you like need to eat, they're good.
Yeah.
If you can afford literally anything else, probably do that.
Because I'm used to the bricks.
Yeah.
Because
Your
I-
choice is either like eat cup ramen or starve to death.
Yeah.
Just like find a homeless guy and suck his dick for like 10 cents.
Yeah.
And you can
I
get
try to
better
at
ramen.
least buy like the slightly nicer like $1.50 ramen.
Yeah, like the really spicy kind with like the black packaging.
Fuck, what's it called? Like Shin?
Something like that. That shit is
Yeah,
good though. I do like that. And you can like spice it up. You can like put stuff in it.
yeah.
Yeah, I add like soft boiled eggs. I do like spring
Ooh,
onions.
yeah.
The one that baffles me is peanut butter.
Who's doing that?
Peanut butter
People
ramen?
Lot
actually
of
put
people.
peanut butter in it.
A lot of people, a
Damn.
lot of.
That
Wait,
sounds-
it's a
peanut butter.
Never
like,
tried it, but
it's a thing in Southeast Asia. It's a big thing.
Yep.
Well, they
Yeah,
they
but
already
it's
use
not-
peanut oil.
oh, I guess that's true.
Yeah. It just baffled me because I'm just used to like the thicker consistency of like how peanut butter is.
I
It
guess
just
if it
doesn't break
melts.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
it
it like
melts.
completely
If it's, like,
melted in
thinner.
there, I guess it would just be the flavor. I don't know. You can't usually taste the peanut oil though, unless they put way too much.
I'm having it. I want to taste that peanut oil.
I'm a fucking.
I want to slide right on out.
Want some seed oils in my diet, brother.
Excuse me.
You know, it's apparently a real big ramen hack in a lot of places. You just throw some peanut butter in it, and then it'll like cook down.
You guys ever use that like as seen on TV, looking like put your ramen in here and then you can put it in the microwave and cook it?
Yes. So can I tell a tiny story, unless you have a better one about that?
Oh, I was just gonna say it makes it taste like shit.
Yeah.
That was the
Okay.
extent of my story.
I'm gonna elaborate. So my ex-girlfriend swore by that fucking thing. She had one of them. She swore by that thing. She's like, "We got this for like Christmas randomly," and she's like, "And I make my ramen it every time, and it's perfect." And I'm like, "Okay, make me your ramen." And I did, and it tasted like shit. And I was like, "This tastes like shit." And she was like, "You're a fucking idiot. You're a moron." And so
Fucking
I-
got your head.
I, for like 3 years, tried to get her to eat the ramen I would make because it's actually good. She just wouldn't do it. She refused every single time. She's like, "No, I refuse." And I'm like,
Principle.
yeah,
Season 2 deep.
it was a principle because she knew if she ate my ramen that actually was like edible, that she'd be wrong. So she's like, "No, I refuse."
As soon as I have that good ramen, this thing's junk.
And it is.
No.
Once you figure out that your dumb fucking bowl, it's just a black box basically. It's just a bowl. Like, it's not really even that much different. It's a bowl that like it's just square. That's all you've done. Like, I already have that in my kitchen cabinet. I have like little square Tupperware containers that I could make the ramen in. It's no different. But you went and you paid like $4 for this. You dumb clod.
I think it's
Is
probably
there any
copium just to
advantage?
justify like.
You stupid Claude.
You
Is there any
stupid broad. I'm a
advantage
fucking.
taking it
Yes,
out of the
stupid
original
fucking
packaging
Claude.
and putting it in the square one? Like, are you gaining anything by doing that? Or is it
No,
just, like,
it's because you're
presentation?
fucking. It's because these dumb kindergartners have like dumb brains, and they're like, "Oh, put the square in the square." Fucking no, it doesn't matter.
Put
Moron.
the circle in the square hole.
No, it's probably because no. This was one of her
Goes in the
arguments.
square
This
bowl.
was one of her arguments. She was like, "No, because when you put it in the circle bowl, you have to break it." And I'm like, "Yeah,
What?
you already have
What?
to do that." And she's like, "Well, I don't want to break it." And I'm like, "You out here eating ramen bricks, stupid fucking."
You have to bite it anyway. You're not slurping the whole noodle one go.
Apparently, no. Apparently, she was going it all in one. There's a joke
Girl
there.
bossing, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
I had a roommate when I was in college who ate ramen like without boiling it.
What?
I
Oh,
actually,
just like munching
He just
on it?
ate
I know,
he just
yeah.
ate the uncooked noodles.
actually
I've met those
knew,
people.
like
I,
smash them up.
I knew a couple kids that would do that. Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah.
I guess if you're in a pinch and you just need like a crunch factor, I
It
guess.
definitely seems to me like a
No,
poor-
he like ate it just like as a snack whenever.
Yeah, no, that I
Like
guess
he ate it without occasion.
I guess it would be like chips. Like,
Yeah. Because I mean, it has the same nutritional value as like Doritos.
I
essentially.
noticed tendencies like that. Like you eat that shit. It's like a very very poor person thing. Because I had a buddy who used to do that, and he was really
we
broke.
we were in a not a public college. So
No,
it couldn't have been
I
like
know,
that poor.
but how do I put it? I guess when you're a certain level of poor, your brain does this weird thing where you kind of go back to certain habits that you developed. Like my buddy, when he was a kid, he was like super fucking poor. He used to eat bread sandwiches, which is just two pieces of bread and he just eat it. That was your meal.
Wonder Bread, that's like cake. That shit's sweet.
Yeah, that's just what he would eat. Because he didn't have like power or water, so he couldn't like cook it. So he would just eat it.
It was
and
a
he-
powerless man. He
And
only ate bread.
obviously, like when we were hanging out, like he had like he could make it, but he was like, no, I just want to eat it. It's just nice. It makes you feel humble.
It's just
and
like
grateful,
how you
I
always
guess.
had it.
Yeah, I guess it's like a grateful thing. I don't know. It's probably like a symptom of PTSD or some shit. I don't fucking know. I don't know, dog. It's probably fucked up, but whatever. But anyway,
No fun.
yeah. Plath's here.
Hey.
The man, the myth, the legend.
The
He
man,
was a riven.
the man, the myth, the creature that haunts.
He is
us.
risen.
Yeah, no, keep going. I want to hear that.
No, I'm done.
No, keep it going.
Da da dee da
I
doo,
don't
da
know
da
any other
dee da da doo.
Yeah, here, I'll give you a beat.
The fuck is that?
I'm giving you a beat. Go.
I feel like POV, you're having a heart attack and you're dying in the hospital. You're listening to
POV,
your
you're
heart.
dying in the hospital and your friends are beatboxing.
You're listening to your heart slowly stop
Yeah.
beating.
And the final
No,
thing you
come on.
hear is "We will."
Bro,
rock
that
you,
beat is
queen."
fat as fuck, dude. You better put something on it.
POV, you're an anti-vaxxer.
Never.
POV, you're Jesus trying to get rid of your morning wood.
Right.
Or you leave the tomb.
You're trying to get your morning wood back, dude.
Yeah, you're trying to get it back.
Fuck your dick.
Jesse, we have to.
If I
get my morning wood back.
if I resurrect from the dead, the last thing I want to be is soft. You know what I'm saying? Come on,
Yeah.
cause you've made world history.
I want a 3-foot Von Schuka.
Exactly.
A
The
A
Von-
3-foot cock.
the Von Schuka. Does that mean cock, or did you just make a funny German word? Because that.
Supposedly that's actually not a word. It was a thing used in Dragon Ball Abridged.
The Von Schuka.
Because they got they gave 2 characters a German accent, and they just pulled random shit out of their ass to make it sound like they're German.
Okay, yeah. When you look up Von Schuler, you get a Marvel Nazi. You get some like Nazi from the Narvel,
The Narvel universe.
the Narvel, the NCU.
Oh, those are the comic books that Shaq reads. Narvel.
Yeah,
Big Narvel
the
fan.
Narvels.
No.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, dude.
Honestly, the Germans have some good word humor too.
Yeah, I
I
bet.
love how aggro it sounds. Like,
Compound words. Fuck the world.
Like literally, there's like all the different languages across the board go hospital, 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 or like little deviations of how it's pronounced. And then there's Germans just go, nah, we're going full out.
They're like, we're gonna scream it, and we're gonna give it a bunch of funny, stupid sounds. So
It's like-
Europe kind of they figured out a really interesting conundrum they use the euro, right?
Mhm.
Makes the what? Do that with language, dickheads.
But my culture.
Okay, but you know what? You could fix the Tower of
My hair.
Babel situation, but you just refuse to.
You're damn right, brother.
Most
Hey,
of
why
them-
are they speaking a different language?
Most
up
Europeans
top?
are just the same kind of white people anyway, right? So they don't really got that much difference in culture, right?
They all
I
fucking
mean-
speak English anyway.
Yeah, just speak. You know what? Just speak English, brother. I don't
Hot
understand.
take.
Hell yeah.
Hot
You know
take.
what? I don't care if this is America
Speak
or not.
American, brother.
Yeah, you're speaking American in every country. This is France, speak American.
Speak American,
This is
bitch.
Germany, speak American.
I want you out of my country by sunrise, but we're in Germany. Every country belongs to America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember there was like something supposedly of like we had a bad translator for president going over,
Yeah.
where it literally translated it over to.
Oh, where he
"I'm
was
here
like,
to fornicate
"Yeah,
with
I'm here to
everybody."
fuck, and I'm not leaving." Yeah, it was. I think it was like Jimmy Carter who went to like West Germany, or it might have been like Denmark or something, some
I
bullshit.
thought it was France because it wasn't Germans that was said to. It was like one of the Western Europe areas.
Yeah, who fucking cares?
He's like, "I desire you carnally, and I've left America, never to return."
And I'm here to make sure I
What a
fornicate
raw
with everybody.
dude! What a raw line though. If someone walked up to me and was like, "I desire you carnally,"
And I'm
yeah.
not. I desire you carnally, and I'm not leaving. Is the part that makes it
Yeah,
scary.
you're getting what you want, Mister.
Mr. President.
Mr. President.
Today was the day that Jimmy Carter finally became president. That was the moment that Jimmy Carter became the president.
By confusing everybody.
Before
because
he was just some
somebody-
random guy.
Or his name was James Carter. I don't even know if it was Jimmy Carter.
At least it's not
Probably
the worst
wasn't.
way of being remembered because you're being the president that got stuck in a bathtub. Looking at you, Taft.
Wasn't that Garfield? Who's the fat one?
Taft.
Taft.
It was
Yeah,
Taft.
It was
yeah.
Taft. Yeah, he's
Okay.
the
Because he got
biggest.
stuck in a tub.
He was the big one.
I remember there was one president whose like quirk was that like he would always get shocked by like light fixtures. I gotta find out who it is.
That's wicked funny.
I like how
Wait, I
you
wanna
call
know
that a
who
quirk,
that
by the
was.
way. Like
Hey,
it's just like
Do
something
you
fun he
guys
does.
are you guys anyway interested in the resurgence in Sigma male communities about how they
No.
rediscovered
Yes.
Andrew Jackson and they haven't figured out that he was the worst slaver and racist?
They have to know
I
that.
think
They
that's
have
a
to know
feature
that.
for them,
That's
not a
the whole
bug.
point.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he didn't do anything else but be racist and awful.
I mean, I guess he did some funny stuff where people would try to murder him fairly, but he would like beat them up with his cane, and he was like 60.
He did talk a lot of shit to people, which is funny, but like
Did he
there
was
a
in the
reason
most
people were
duels.
being mean to him.
He was in the
yeah.
most duels out of like any American president.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he killed a couple guys. In duels.
Killed a lot of guys
Uh,
actually.
He was like a war general. He killed so many people, probably.
Yeah. He's a bad guy, but yet like I keep seeing him around. Like Sigma males keep like talking about the shit he did, and I'm like, wow.
I mean, I guess he did do whatever the fuck he wanted.
Is
I'm
this
Yeah.
like the
baffled-
Sigma male's like Hamilton phase?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're gonna see a Lin-Manuel Miranda rendition of Andrew
Oh
Jackson.
my god.
Yeah, honestly.
I'm still
Oh,
baffled of
oh,
like
first
a
time.
60-year-old
Don't
man
put
is
that out
beating the
into
shit
the
out of you with a
universe.
cane.
Are you guys
I
ready
think-
to hear the hit new Broadway song, The Trail of Tears? You guys ready to?
Yeah.
Please don't.
I think
That's
I think I
Broadway.
finally pinpointed why Lin-Manuel Miranda like gets on my nerves so much. It's because he reminds me of like those people during the last election were like, "Oh my gosh, you guys, Bernie Sanders was actually Severus Snape the whole time, and Donald Trump was Voldemort. We all
Yeah.
thought Hillary was Harry Potter, but really she's Professor McGonagall."
What?
Yeah,
It's
he's
so
he's like
funny
he's like a
because-
liberal. He's like a super big like lib.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like I think he's a Latino or something, but like he's doing
He's
the
white.
most
I'm
theater
sorry.
kid white thing. Ever.
He's
He's
from,
white.
I think
He's
he's from
white
Costa
now.
Rica? Question mark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's from Costa Rica.
He's white though.
Like,
Sorry.
I don't claim him.
He lost.
No.
We
it.
don't. We don't
He
claim.
lost it. He's white.
He
sorry.
lost it. He lost it.
He did. Unfortunately, he is now just a white guy.
He
Yeah.
lost the Latinx privilege.
It's crazy too, cause he made a very cool, like Hispanic musical. It's called In the Heights, which is pretty cool. It's good. Then he made Hamilton, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is your follow up.
Oh, okay. So he was only of Puerto Rican descent. So he was born in America. He was born in New York.
Yeah.
I thought he was born in I thought he was born in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Think
I
he's,
do think it's mostly just funny to dunk on, specifically Hamilton.
I think he's just a rich, really omega lib, slightly out of touch guy, who's just kind of
Yeah.
old.
There's nothing like wrong with him.
No,
He's
he
very
doesn't.
funny.
He hasn't done anything controversial. He just is like, how do I put it? He's a little bit like a band kid.
He's just kind of cringe.
He kind of is. I hate to say it. He's a little cringe.
Bruh, you're going to cringe trail. You did too
Yeah, no.
much.
I feel like he'd be
We're
like,
sending you down the trail of cringe.
Oh no! Oh no! That like a bunch of 4chan guys are gonna start saying
Trail.
that, dude. Oh no! Someone was trying to say something, and then Connor said "trail of cringe."
Day of the rope for cringe.
No, I was just gonna say he's like one of those really annoying centrists that it's like, well, both sides are being bad right now when people
We
like
just need
riot.
civility, bro.
Yeah, like when like an innocent person gets killed and then people are like upset about it and they protest and all the centrists are like,
Does
oh,
he
well,
do
both
that?
sides are being unreasonable. Yeah, I'm pretty sure because like there were a lot of protests when I don't even.
I think
remember
he's
who
just
was
like a
that.
like a cocktail party lib.
Yeah,
I don't even know if he's
basically.
done anything like notable politically other than like
Yeah.
Make Hamilton, which is like the lib national anthem.
He like supported Sanders or Clinton or like something like that, but other
Yeah, he
than
did
that,
some
he's
good
not
outs
like
about that.
actually doing
Oh.
anything.
I don't know that
Well, he's-
libs supported Sanders.
He's just a funny.
The
like,
Bernie
punching
Bros
bag.
were a thing, and they were just kind of libs that wanted to get laid.
Oh, that's true.
We are one of them, but we don't associate. Please.
Like, oh, it's democratic socialism. It's not socialism. And it's like, all right, well, what's the difference? And they're just like,
Nothing.
Democratic.
like,
Fucking idiot.
big oil.
Read a book, dumbass. And I'm not talking about Harry Potter.
Yeah, I think I think he's just kind of cringe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's it, really. But
The fact that people still have like Harry Potter costumes and this year, our lord, I'm like, come on, guys.
it's just find a different series. Like that,
Even
that's-
even if she wasn't a piece of
over.
shit, it's been so long.
It's
you guys.
so
It's
played
been
out.
so long,
It's all-
and she is a bitch. Come on, guys.
You want to know what's a really interesting because a lot of people obviously especially when it comes to her, right, because she's like the biggest cunt, are like, hey, you can separate the art from the artist, but then there's always that the interview, she has an interview where they're like, hey, so like people are really mad at you because you said a bunch of like transphobic stuff, how do you like deal with that? And she's like, I'm a billionaire, like I have more money in the world than I could ever imagine, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
people are
That's
like,
how I sleep at night.
And then she wrote her new book is literally about like
a trans woman like murdering like cis women in a bathroom or something, right?
no, it was like this author who's like universally beloved by everyone is like assaulted by her fans after her political opinions come to light or some
I
bullshit.
think she wrote opinionated like tweets inside the book as well, like
Yeah.
fictional.
Didn't she also write a book though where like a trans woman was like the villain? I feel like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
heard
yeah.
that somewhere. yeah.
Probably.
AK round trans villain book. Troubled Blood
I don't know, maybe.
is the
Sounds
first thing
right.
that's come up.
Familiar. She wrote it underneath like a pen.
It's a detective novel. Oh, she spends most of the time in the book explaining why she's mad at modern feminism. I'm gonna guess it's this one.
Yeah, that sounds right. I mean, I guess if you want to be like, oh, like you can support the art but not the artist. All right. Well, can you engage with the art without giving the artist any money? Like, are you pirating everything? And
Oh,
then, like,
Oh, and
That's
another one of her books. It's about a character in the ink Black Heart. It's about a cartoonist who is harassed and killed for being accused of transphobia.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
Oh my god. Oh, girl, come on.
Life resembles art.
If you've got so much money, bitch, then please just
It's
step
so
back.
funny how like these
Just spend it.
millionaires or billionaires just have like the thinnest skin. Like even fucking Elon doing it.
Oh my
with
god, the
the
mustache.
I like how Elon is just like trying to like post Neil deGrasse Tyson type shit on Twitter right now,
Yeah.
and none of it is
Shut up.
funny at
Everyone's like,
all.
Shut up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a neutron
that thing
doesn't
where he's
know
like,
that it's
I'm
a
not
neutron.
that's the thing with like even like comedians too, like Dave Chappelle, because dude, the second trans people were like, hey, you're being kind of a cunt, he literally rebranded his entire life to just make it about being a
Dude.
bigot.
It sucks seeing him just.
He went from being like an okay kind of edgy comedian to like, wow, he really doesn't like trans people, huh?
You
Yeah,
you make
was,
like he makes
so
like
influential when he was younger, but like
You don't
he-
understand. They were
got
mean to
rich
me on the
off it.
internet.com.
it's just like you make a one-off joke and you receive an extremely negative response, and instead of being like, ooh, should avoid that, you're like, you know what? Whole personality now.
Yeah.
Everything is about this. The one thing that got extremely negative response. And then every other comedian feels like they have to support him because of like, oh, you can't be funny anymore. Oh, you don't understand the industry, and it's like, oh, don't align yourself with that.
Yeah, I feel like so many, I don't know, so many comics suck, and it's always the famous ones, and I'm like, dude, you're just not that funny. Like, I've seen comics that are really funny, and they aren't offensive. They don't have to be. It's not fucking rocket science.
God, didn't like John Mulaney have Chappelle open for him once? I read that.
Oh,
Sucks. Yeah, they were like hanging out on stage. Just damn
Yeah.
dark
Yeah.
path.
Whatever. I used
Oh,
to be
well.
such a big Chappelle fan too. His early stuff is.
It used to
pretty
be
goated.
funny though.
It was pretty funny. He talked about nothing that was like necessarily controversial, or at least nothing that was, not true.
Yeah.
Most of what he talked about was like white people and how they're silly.
Yeah,
mean-
or a lot of his jokes, like, it was his place to make those jokes. Like, if he made jokes about, like, the black community, he's black, okay, that's his place to make it. Now he's
Yeah.
just, like, shitting on trans people, and it's like, man,
What if he's actually trans?
don't. God damn it, don't.
Uh,
Don't.
Yeah.
What if-
We're gonna see like
It's
trans
probably already
Chappelle edits.
exists.
You
Yeah,
know
we're
what?
gonna-
Actually, I think
we're gonna-
that
What
would
if
be
we
funny.
did that? What
I
if we
think
did that?
actually
we're
that would be.
We're gonna
good.
start a trans investigation on Dave Chappelle.
What if we become trans Chappelle truthers and we just start injecting that into the internet?
How pissed do you think he'd be?
If you zoom in, you can
mad.
see
He'd be
that his
so
Adam's
mad.
apple is like very clearly surgically altered.
I could be like, well, you can see by the width of his hips how wide they are.
Yeah, those are birthing hips.
Those are Dave Chappelle has birthing hips.
Dave Chappelle could fucking bear my children.
Oh no.
He could. He would survive childbirth, dude.
We would get the irony of that is we would absolutely get sued for harassment, and he'd be like, "This isn't funny."
No, we'd be
Kids.
fine. We'd be all right.
He's a
We can
public
just say,
figure.
like,
It's
free
like
speech.
hard as
Yeah.
hell to prove like defamation against him.
Exactly. He's a
speech,
public
brother.
figure, baby. We can do whatever we want.
True. All right. I suppose let's play the game.
Yeah,
I
45
will
minutes.
say I do have to leave at like 8:30, so this will probably be a really short one.
You're
Alright.
not allowed.
But this one is well, then, keep me.
This
here.
is training arc, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This session is just gonna be an easy one. It's gonna be a real light one. I didn't plan on it being a crazy one specifically because today I was gonna have to leave at like 8:30, so I didn't want it to be a crazy one. So, last we left off, the gang continued their quest to create some cures for the Rock Plague Curse. You traveled around, you investigated, Your next major goal was to try and figure out how to get the fucking door open. On the
cave.
The cave, yeah. I don't know why I was blanking on the word. You deduced that there were probably 3 sources powering the door, keeping it, there. You already found 2 of them. One in the mountains at the Kobold Village, and then the other was at a abandoned castle south of the cave. But then you kind of found that the other one led to the town of Cranville, and upon some investigation and getting into a shouting match with Boro Oliard, you eventually found a giant snake in the bog. You killed it, and then you followed its path back to a snake hole underneath the bog. And after doing a little bit of swimming, you went into an underwater cave, killed the other snake that was there, and it barely was a fight. You just beat the shit out of that thing.
We just curb stomped it.
Yeah, and then you destroyed the other blight pustule, and then you left. You went back to Palecrest Manor, where you created a bunch of rot plague cures. You sent them back to Cranville, and then you even got some people to send some to Trade Point. I think you did that, yeah. Anyway, so then you guys were gearing up to prepare to eventually deal with whatever was causing this curse so that this would never happen again, and to finally put it to bed for good. Until you learned a very bad piece of information, or specifically Madame Malagra got some really bad news. A friend of hers, a fellow hag by the name of Lady Amira Hallen, had apparently fallen ill. She had suffered some sort of injury and was unconscious and not waking. She was given a message that her presence was urgently required in the Phalans to the north. So she had to leave to tend to her old friend, and she politely asked all of you, she begged all of you, to please deal with this problem as soon as possible, because she does not know when she will be back or available to deal with it. So she has entrusted all of you with dealing with the issue. Of course, all of you are a little bit, admittedly, maybe not the most fit to take care of it, so she decided to give you some help in the form of some funny magic items that now all of you are going to have to grow slightly more accustomed to. And she also proposed that all of you could spend some time, about a week, pretty much getting a little bit better, getting used to your equipment, learning some new skills, and just generally practicing a little bit before you indulge in what might be, for some of you, the fight of your lives. So, we now pick back up with our heroes.
Tugil says that it's going to be Henry first.
What?
Yeah, so all of you, I would assume, the following morning would be woken up ungodly early. Like 4 a.m.
Like, not even the sun's up.
Yeah, by Conrad. It'd be like, hello everyone, and he'd be like walking through Palecrest Manor, where you've all been staying. And would be
Beating
like,
pants,
it's time to rise and shine, get up, come on.
Oh God, it's so early. Is it
5 more minutes.
Hey, everybody, wake up, come on.
Brody
We're
would
supposed to
start
set the
assisting-
time back. We should get an extra hour.
Daylight savings doesn't exist in this world, boy.
Fuck.
Brody would be assisting Conrad by dragging everybody out.
Thank you. Brody.
Ow.
Yeah, drag them by their ankles if we have to.
Brody, no.
Unfortunately, we require this.
You all agreed to this. You asked for it.
Does it have to be so early?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Training does not wait for the body.
Nope. Wait. I
Isn't
don't...
even fair. You don't even sleep.
I have a state of sleep, but not similar to yours.
So he would drag all of you out into the front lawn of the house.
just unceremoniously the entire time. It's just like all clumped together.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, how do you all feel?
Tired.
Oh, come on. You guys have gotten too used to sleeping during the daytime and resting during the night. I thought you
My
were members of the
circadian
Midnight
rhythm-
Caravan.
My circadian rhythm is never going to recover from this.
I don't even know what
Never-
that word means.
Oh, there are no cicadas out during this time of year. You'll be fine.
Ugh.
Any
Brody would
case,
start taking everybody by their ankles and just shake them.
yeah. Here, stand him up. Stand him up.
Stands us all in our heads.
Yeah, not like that. Turn him back around. Turn him. Oh, 180. There, thank you. All right, so all of you, I know, as all of you, we have agreed that you all need to get a little bit more trained up. We don't want you being sloppy when the time comes to deal with whatever creature lies in that their cave. So, I'm gonna try and fit about a month's worth of training in a week.
How does
Sounds
that
like a
work?
great time.
Well, it involves sleeping very little and extraneous amounts of stressful activity.
I hate stress.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I heard stress assists in hair.
What?
No, it doesn't. It actively does the opposite, usually.
Brody, you don't even have hair.
Yeah,
Exactly.
he's so stressed.
With enough stress, you do not need to require hair maintenance.
Yeah.
Because you lose all your hair.
Mhm.
I think I have like a medication that could help you with that.
Regardless, all of you are gonna have to train. Now, obviously, all of you have different skills and different things that you are good at, so we're gonna try and hone in on those things. But I believe that the key thing everybody needs to be good at, or that everybody needs to have, is a good pair of lungs. So, you all are gonna run.
Ooh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, all right. I was told that the length of the edge of this grove, the Palecrest Manor, if you run it, it's probably a mile. So just do that for a while.
What if we have asthma, hypothetically?
You'll get over it.
Okay.
We established in episode 1 that you didn't have asthma.
I think I said I wasn't sure.
I offered you an inhaler and you declined.
If
think
you slow down,
I said
I
I
will
wasn't
assist.
sure if I had asthma or not.
If you have asthma, there is healing magic. We'll just heal
Yeah?
whatever problems occur to you. Don't worry about it.
You on the
Pat-
nose, you are
he
cured of
pats you
asthma.
on the shoulder.
Do you think we're going to be doing a lot of running when we fight the goat demon?
Potentially.
think it's the
I
end.
will just give you one piece of advice from my sellsword days. The moment you run out of breath in the middle of the fight is the moment you never take another intake of breath ever again, because you'll be dead.
Okay. All right.
When one is out of breath, it increases death by 80%.
Brody, you don't even breathe.
Precisely.
He sure doesn't. He's got the best chance out of all of you.
I could
No.
theoretically run for 6 days.
However,
straight
Brody, you are also going to be running.
as humiliation. Exactly.
No.
It's humiliation. No.
I'm not here to humiliate you, Brody. No. Look,
Humiliated, Brody.
no.
It is not for me. It's for the others.
No, that's also not it.
Across the circle pointing at him. Stupid robot.
he taps you with his stick. No, Brody, me and Vanessa were talking. You have really bad joints. They're like really old.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. So you gotta loosen them up. You gotta run the rust off.
Alrighty.
If you apply here, he hands you like this weird jar of oil. Apply that to your joints, and hopefully, as you run, the oil will move around, and it will hopefully degrease you. It's like
Indeed.
wheels on a cart.
And eventually it will work its way into all joints.
Yeah, you'll feel better. I think. I don't know. I've never trained a robot. But regardless, hey,
Alright.
you all should be optimistic because I did this training once before, and look at me. I'm alive and very old.
Yes. It has seasoned you well.
Mm-hmm. So, just start running. I'll be back in 3 hours. Don't stop. The mushrooms are informed to attack you if you stop. That's
Jesus,
that's to simulate combat. You see, because in a combat, if you ever fall over exhausted, you will be jumped on by your
By
enemies
mushrooms.
and murdered. Yeah. So, this is a simulation. So don't stop running, or else they are informed that they can stab you. Good luck.
Well, you know, if you think about it, our entire life is ow, ow, ow.
Yeah,
I'm
they immediately. The mushrooms have tiny little knives. They have tiny little knives, and as you're not running, they're like poking you.
They're like the little thornberries.
Yeah.
Eric is moving
I
way
take off-
faster than
I take
everyone
off
else.
running down the running.
Okay,
Eric's
sure.
is fucking zooming.
Yeah, so I need everyone to just make me a funny athletics check, just to see how well you perform.
Man.
I told
do
you guys have a
acrobatics.
training arc. You gotta...
Can I do
Oh,
acrobatics?
Henry?
Absolutely not.
Henry's fucking built, bro. You don't know me.
Birdie's
Pure running is not acrobatics.
Did I hit? Okay.
Okay.
Birdie's
Brody,
going
Move
to,
dexterously. What if I dance?
Use part of his armor of magical defense to enhance himself on the run because it gives athletics.
Okay, so you're gonna activate. You're gonna burn charges of your magical equipment to
Yep.
be better at running. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay. 14, 12, 20. Okay. Ferrix, Henry, Brody, you're surprisingly okay. I think for Henry, the
It's
threat
adrenaline.
the
It's
threat of being
adrenaline.
stabbed is a lot.
This is fight or flight, and he's flying. He's out.
As for Jack and Zay, you guys are fine. The first couple of miles are okay. It gets rough towards the end.
Jack trips and the mushrooms just like swarm him like bees.
No! They don't stab
Zay-
you to
Zay
kill
gets a-
you, but it is uncomfortable.
Zay gets like a cramp and then he just like collapses at the mushroom.
Yeah, no.
Alcohol.
They like absorb him. They
You just see
swarm him, and
Brody
then
running
when they separate, he's not there anymore.
They just- he's there, but he just has like a mushroom in place of a head.
They got his ass.
You just see Brody running around and you just hear like heat sinking right out of his armor.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, the morning would go on for a long time, and eventually the sun would rise, and you all are so tired by the end. But you do, I mean, you know, you're tired and covered in sweat. But you're done with the running part.
Fitness Grand Pacer Test is a multi-stage aerobic event.
Yeah. Welcome to hell.
Fitness Grand Pacer Test.
Are we done? Are we stronger now?
Conrad.
We
comes
will now
back.
begin the push-up section.
Oh, hey, you're all done with the running.
Indeed.
Hmm.
My joints feel better.
Very good, very good. All right. All of you come with me. Drag yourselves over to the caravan.
Brody would drag over the people that are like just keeled over.
Yeah. Now, first of all, it's important to refuel. So I made you these, and he hands you all these weird, funny blue beverages that are in like little jars.
This episode is sponsored by G Fuel.
That would be a sick G Fuel sponsorship. Can you imagine if we actually had that? That'd be sick.
That would be very.
I would
interesting
I
how
would
the-
shame.
Sponsor us.
I would
Sponsor us.
shamelessly put G Fuel in my D&D campaigns if I was sponsored by them.
Honestly, sponsor deals are going to be pretty good in a D&D game.
They
'Cause you
would.
could literally just.
I'd be putting that
Fuel
shit
sponsor us.
everywhere. I wouldn't care.
I'd be wearing a T-shirt that says G Fuel.
I'd make
Get
the
the Cranville shirts.
I would make the big bad evil guy's only weakness G Fuel. Make the whole
You
campaign
just see
center around it.
powder all over Brody's face. Yeah, G Fuel.
Let's make a brand-centric campaign, and then we'll just see who picks us up.
That'd be fun.
And Kathistan.
Cast a wide net.
Yeah. So, he hands you all these drinks. They taste like shit, but you
Unlike actual gamer fuel.
Yeah, I'm like actually.
Brody's going to
Hashtag
mime
ad.
it because he knows he cannot consume.
Yeah, but you guys, you do feel better, slightly, I guess. You take a few minutes to breathe, drink water, I guess. And he's like, "All right, so
Can I have some sweet and low?
no,
Sugar does not assist in refueling.
well, it does, but
We need carbs.
no, you'll be fine. Here, so next thing you have to do, he gestures over. So, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. This part I had to come up with on the fly. Anyway, here's some rocks, and you see he has gathered. He's gathered like 10 rocks of various sizes. One very big, much bigger than all of you, and then some of them more smaller, moderately sized. All right, you're gonna pick those rocks up.
Is there a specific order?
No, just whatever you think you can do. The idea is that you will pick up the rocks over the next couple days, and hopefully by the end of the week you will be able to pick up a bigger rock. Always go bigger.
Go big or go home.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But there is
And,
no home.
How big is that biggest rock that's over there?
It's like a boulder.
Hmm.
It's like 8
Twi-
feet. It's like 8 feet tall, 5 feet wide. Probably
Can I
like a ton and a half, or no,
It's-
probably like 1,500 pounds.
Yeah.
Can I attempt to just skip the smaller ones? and
Yeah,
just
go
hit
ahead.
The largest one?
Do you want to go to the biggest one?
Yeah, I'll go to the biggest.
Yeah. Okay. Make me just a raw strength check.
One.
How
I'm
did
gonna
Conrad
use,
even get those?
I'm gonna use Peerless Athlete, my channel divinity, and I'm gonna like glow in divine energy.
Okay.
With the
fine.
power of forces.
All right. Well, actually, there's a we can just calculate this. How much you can actually just lift.
Oh yeah.
10 times strength.
Yeah. What's your strength?
16.
All right, and you activate this, which allows you to lift twice as much. So, A, you can lift. Well, hold on. You can lift. I think that's 360 pounds.
320.
320.
16 times 2 is 32.
Yeah. So yeah,
All right.
3,200 pounds.
20. Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Pretty good. You budget. You do not get it up off the ground.
Well, at least I tried.
Mm-hmm.
Brody
Like,
gives the
goes on its
thumbs up.
back a little bit.
You tried.
Jack is like anime and nose bleeding in the corner.
So, just lift the rocks, and then when you've lifted them, put them down. Then do it again.
Remember to lift with your knees, not your back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Me. Okay. Sure.
Proceed to lift with your back. You will proceed to shit out your spine.
So Conrad
Kill
will
you.
take you through a series of funny things you can do with these rocks, which mostly involves lifting them and then putting them down, and also lifting them and then throwing them, and then lifting them and then walking around. It's monotonous and mind-numbing, and very tiring.
Brody's enjoying all of
I
this.
just want everyone to make another athletics check.
My mind, it's being numbed. Ah!
Oh, burn another-
Without the threat of the mushrooms,
That was the
the
wrong
adrenaline
skill.
is not there.
Brody's going to use his armor
Well,
again.
You and me, Jack.
Yeah. The 3 athletic ones among you do a decent, okay job. As for Jack and Henry, not doing good. Conrad would be like, you two aren't very sporty, are you?
I actually have proficiency in this skill. I promise. Ah!
Noted. So
Just because you know it doesn't mean you can apply it.
he runs you guys through this for a few hours, and then he's like, "All right, I think I've worked you all to the bone enough. So you're all gonna take an hour break, and then I'll be back, and then we move on to the next thing. Isn't that fun?
This is enjoyable.
Having so much fun.
Put on
best
your
fun.
weapons and armor for the next thing."
Henry's
Alrighty.
laying face down in the dirt. He's already passed out asleep.
Well, no, wake him up. Somebody wake him up.
Brody will just pick Henry up by his feet, hang him
No,
upside
you
down.
said we were on break. No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can't just go to sleep. That'll make you sluggish, silly.
And
No,
Michael
that's
do
not
upside
how it
down.
works.
You
No.
can sleep at the end of the day.
Sleep when you're dead.
Crying.
Brody, keep him awake.
No,
He
Brody.
just has Henry by the ankles up in the air, so blood's like rushing to the face.
Don't torture him. I'll be back. Conrad
Brody, I
leaves.
can't lift my arms. They're too sore. I can't fight back.
But yeah, you guys can talk amongst yourselves. For a
Then
few
this will be
moments.
all the easier.
You guys can talk amongst yourselves if you want.
This training regiment is not as aggressive as the one I'm aware of.
I mean, he did say we have to do this for like a week, which I feel like we're halfway through today, and I'm already kind of sorry for.
Henry hanging upside down. I don't know. Brody's pretty strenuous to me.
You would guess it's about 9 a.m.
No,
I don't know
that's
if
it.
We have been.
I don't know
going
if I'm
for
cut
5
out for
hours.
this.
Yeah, me neither.
Incorrect attitude. Must look
Vanessica would
positive.
approach all of you and be like, "Are you guys doing okay?"
No.
I pulled a muscle in my entire body.
I'm
I'm
sorry,
having fun.
Conrad.
Kind of threw out my back.
I,
a little bit.
I'm gonna be honest. Conrad came to me and he said he was gonna train you guys to fight a goat demon, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds really cool." And then, he seemed much too pleased with the idea. I'm sorry.
It is going to be an interesting time.
I'm glad you're having fun, Brody.
Yeah, and you just see him like also just slightly shaking Henry's. It's not fun. Upside down.
It must be very nice to not
Stop.
have muscles.
I'm awake. I'm awake.
A comical amount of change just falling out of Henry's pocket.
This, the training regiment.
It's all
is
the
also
money I
different.
own.
That's my lunch money.
Those are my collector coins.
This training regiment is not as aggressive as the one I'm aware of.
What are you aware of?
Ours is 3 months long. No sleep.
Well, you're robots. You don't sleep.
We do it to humanoids.
Yeah.
Us of the pre-programmed are aware of all its needed skills.
So, you guys sit around and you wait till eventually Conrad comes back. All right, so after this part of the training, we'll be doing this for a few hours. But after this part, then you get to eat. Doesn't that sound nice?
Sounds lovely.
Yeah.
So, did you all put on your weapons and armor?
Yes,
Yeah.
as Henry, he's still holding Henry by the feet.
All right,
Henry's
cool.
upside down, but holding the maze. Yeah.
Okay, all right, put him down. Put him down.
All right, he'll put Henry down gently.
All right, so we're gonna go over. Here's the thing. So I had the pleasure of watching all of you fight when those weird creatures attacked a little bit. The mushrooms specifically, actually, I also got to watch all of you fight, and I gotta say, you all are very skilled, but a little bit rough around the edges. I would argue.
Couple thousand years will do that.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna make you all practice fighting, basically. And I know you're probably gonna ask, but Conrad, what if I only throw potions or am the healer? And to that I say, what happens when someone walks up to you and attempts to stab you? What do you do?
True.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize and ask how I could help them.
All right. Well, they don't speak your language because they're a demon from the abyss.
They also do not reason.
Mm-hmm.
Hold person?
What if they
I
break
don't think
your
that works on
concentration?
demons.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It also doesn't. Any case, you all just need to be a little bit prepared.
Prepared for worse.
Brody, I got it.
Just
I
keep his
appreciate
head-
I appreciate you yes manning me all morning, but you're also doing this training. Get over there. Get on the line.
He's just trots back over.
Yeah.
Just like slowly inching over to his side. It's like, yeah, you guys need to shape up. You
Yeah,
guys need to
yeah,
break.
Brody, you're just as bad as them. You just don't have muscles. So I can't mess with you the same way. Go over there. I heard about how you stabbed Zay that one time.
It's
Yes.
right in the back of my neck. It was awful.
Yeah, you gotta
Worst
go
part of
over
my
there.
day.
All right, so you're all gonna pair up.
Brody's looking around like, who's going to be the poor soul that's with him?
Yeah, whichever one of you isn't paired up with one of your other fellow party members has to work with me.
Henry?
I'll
Sure.
square up to Brody.
All right.
Yeah.
Ferrix, you're with me. So he is, and yeah, he will basically to speed things up. He will make you guys basically just practice what is effectively just fighting forms. Most of it is for the various weapons that all of you use, but he's just trying to get you guys, I guess, just more. He's teaching you things. Conrad, despite his demeanor, does seem to know a lot about combat and warfare and things. He does mention a couple times that he was a former sellsword at one point in his life. So he seems to know his way around weaponry. I have a question for any of you.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a weapon proficiency you would like to learn that you don't already have? I know some of you probably are proficient with all weapons, but is there any of you that aren't proficient with a certain kind of weapon that you'd like to be?
The only one of us who isn't proficient with all weapons would be Ferrix and Henry.
Maybe Marshall or Melee. I don't know.
Actually, do artificers get melee?
Marshall. Yeah.
Or martial
don't.
weapons? Brady doesn't
Uh,
need them, but
Brody's background kind of handed it to him. So he pretty much has all weapons squared.
I've got all weapons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just have Marshall and Simple. Which
Yeah,
is there anything
for specifically Ferrix and Henry, if you wanted to, just pick a weapon. You can't pick all martial weapons, but you can pick a martial weapon that you would like to be proficient. If you are so inclined.
Yeah.
Laugh even here.
I don't know.
Buddy.
Ooh, can I? get a
I'd do a
proficiency?
long sword maybe. Get that D8 instead of a D6.
Sure.
I'll I don't know. Maybe I'll have to ask the guy.
You take a flail.
Can I try to get proficient with a heavy crossbow, like something really beefy?
I think that comes with martial weapons.
Yeah. If you have simple and martial weapons proficiency,
Yeah, it's
you
all
get
of them.
ranged.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's the only ones that have that weird thing about it is rogues.
You can also tell me if there is just a specific thing you want to work on, even if you are already proficient in it. You can also just tell me, is there... Okay, here's what I'm going to tell you. Is
Okay.
there a type of fighting style you want, or a weapon you want to be proficient in? Let me open that up.
When you say fighting style, are you talking about like fighting style?
You can look at the fighter fighting style list, tell me which one suits your fancy, and we'll work on it. Or something similar. Obviously, you can't take, like, certain ones, because they're
Right.
insane, and or he couldn't teach you how to do that. Whichever ones you think are reasonable.
Yeah, actually, I was.
Tell
gonna-
me, and I'll figure it out.
So I think I already get this as a paladin when I level up, but I was wondering if I can switch my fighting style to protection instead of interception.
Yeah,
or
you could.
somehow get like a beefy combine.
I mean, you could learn both.
Yeah, I feel like they. Yeah, can I learn both? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you already have one.
Yeah.
Basically, what I'm asking for here is that whatever you kind of want to work on, he will help you achieve.
Okay.
He will help you achieve this over the course of the week, or a version of it. Because granted, yeah,
Some of them are a little more nuts than others.
yeah, like he can't teach you Mariner. He can't teach you Tunnel Fighter. He can't teach you close quarter shooters. Can't really teach you superior technique.
Oh, I was gonna ask about that. Fuck.
He can't teach you blind fighting,
Right.
but he can teach you some of
Puts
the
a
others.
blindfold on you.
Yeah.
Don't take that off all week.
Instead of can I just train for defense, which is a bonus to 1 AC?
If you are so inclined.
Yes, I will do that since
Yeah.
I already have.
By the way, I don't know how exactly busted this is gonna be. I don't know. But I don't know. Whatever.
Could Brody do the unarmed fighting?
Sure.
That'd be really.
Conrad can teach you how to punch shit.
Like,
But yeah, if Zay could just specifically like learn to defend himself with Conrad and then just like blocking strictly to try to get the +1 AC.
that's pretty much all it that I shot over.
Yes, you can do that. The secondary part of that ability, I will say, still works with your ranged grapple gimmick.
Okay.
I would say you could flavor that as you squeeze him.
Could I?
Throw. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say.
Yeah,
can I
you
do
throw 'em.
Interception. Could I do that?
Mm-hmm.
If I took Throne, could I add that damage to flasks?
Yes. Honestly, why not?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I figured I would give you this because I really like fighting styles in D&D, and I'm kind of upset that most classes don't ever really get to use them.
Yeah, because like literally, you're kind of like stuck behind.
I mean, I know they're like
healers.
the martial thing, but like, I don't know. They're fun.
Wouldn't it be cool for a cleric to get something?
Yeah, I think giving like a cleric or artificers or other funny classes this stuff, and then the marshals just get more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which makes sense because you're probably gonna be fighting more stuff anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll be doing the unarmed.
Okay, is Plath not here?
I think he.
I think
just
he
went
is.
away.
He said it's inactive on Discord, so I don't know.
Welp.
He doesn't get a training arc. Ferrex fell asleep.
Yeah,
Kidding.
that's basically it.
Oh.
Yeah, no. All right, so, anyway, so yeah, throughout the coming days, Conrad will run you all through a variety of different fighting forms that he will assist you with. Conrad knows a lot about weaponry. He's been alive a long fucking time. Those of you who train with him, he's not like mean to you or anything. He's definitely not as like spry as he probably once was. He is an old man with a bum leg, so he kind of, you know. But you all train, you swap in, you move in between each other, trading with one another. It's a little awkward at first, because I'm sure none of you want to swing weapons at each other, even if it's in like a controlled sense.
We don't want another Brody incident of
Yeah.
almost killing somebody.
But you do make use of the training. And that goes on for the next few hours. Until eventually you are drenched in sweat, sore and tired. You can barely swing your weapons. And then Conrad will be like, all right, and we're done. Whew. This is the part of the day where even I get to work out. And now I'm tired. So,
My body hurts so much. Oh my god.
Indeed it does. Now, we're gonna go inside and we're gonna make lunch. However, afterwards, we do have more left to do. But bear in mind, nothing is physical.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
It is going to be mentally taxing.
Are we gonna be doing like stand up or something?
No, he's gonna make us do math homework.
I'm not going to make you do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make you do math homework.
Oh,
I
could
am.
give math
I am
homework if
going
you
to
want it.
train. I would like
okay.
to train the more specific parts of all of your talents. All of you aren't just big balls of muscles. He pokes Zay with his quarterstaff. All of you have brains, and some of you even have magic. That is what I would like to be focusing on for the remainder part of our evening. So, if you'd all like, you can come on inside.
Yeah, we'll go
Yeah.
inside.
You guys would go inside, you'd sit down, you'd finally take a fucking rest. You've been up for 8 hours already.
You know when you exercise too much and you push yourself too far and your muscles are shaky?
Yeah.
Like you can't even really walk because they're shaking?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that. It sucks. It's bad.
Before you see Brody going into the building, you just all of a sudden hear a massive venting of heat coming out of his body.
Yeah, Brody's like gears and Brody's joints are creaking really bad.
Is
Brody
that
just
supposed to
vented.
happen?
That's a little sus.
Shut
Oh
up,
my
Jack!
god, that smoke smells awful. What the fuck did you just let loose,
Sorry.
Brody?
Just really tired.
Conrad beats the hell out of you for that one. Shut the fuck up!
Conrad just overkills Jack.
Get his ass!
Even though I'm lacking
Conrad,
physical.
why do you deal so much damage with the stick? Because he rolled 2 sevens, a 5, and
Do you have shillelagh applied?
he has shillelagh applied for his damage. Oh, that's why. Yeah, he does
Yeah.
have a +3 in strength. And yeah, makes sense, I guess.
I lack the atrophy of muscle, but I build up heat, and I require to release pressure.
It does kind of sound like farting. I will say the.
If it is farting, I am concerned because it's coming from more position.
Oh.
Is that where you fart? What?
If you are going to deem it as fart, this is a horrible thing.
No talking
we-
about flatulence while I'm making food.
Can we get you like a water cooling system or something?
But potentially,
We overclocked Brody.
I think we might have.
Technically.
unfortunately, I might boil the water, causing damage.
I mean, maybe we can get some like RGB lights on him or something.
We
Brody,
make
can we
ramen
use...
noodles and Brody.
I was gonna say, Brody, can we use you to make soup?
But potentially, or ramen. It was a
Interesting.
preferred thing to do when we're in
Ramen
combat.
ramen already is a soup.
I was referring to a specific dish, not
Hmm?
generalization.
Oh, all right, I understand.
What are we gonna have for lunch? Also, by the way.
He makes you all a large degree. So it's kind of like warm outside, given the weather. So he makes you all cold sandwiches.
Thank God.
And
Do we have any chips that I can put in my sandwich?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, he gives you chips. Yeah.
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 Whoa,
High
there
in
you go.
carbs.
There you go. Don't eat
This
too
makes it-
fast.
This makes it taste better.
Don't
do
eat.
we have any lemonade?
Yes, that we do. Yeah, he gives you all food. He feeds you. He's a pretty good cook. Yeah, you all eat, and then you would see Zelvania would come into the to the big kitchen, and would kind of she has her arms full of like books and shit and other things, and she's like, here you are, Conrad. I got the required reading you requested, and he's like, thank you very much, Miss Zelvania. So, for the remainder part of your day, until you all go to sleep, you are still going to be working. This part, however, is a little bit more separated. You all probably won't be together. You all are going to sift through this pile of books, as well as pretty much any book you desire in this fair manner. We have been given permission by Madame Allegra. And you all are going to develop your own training regimen, as it were, that you will be embarking in the latter half of the day. Specifically, I want all of you to read these books and find things that you want to improve upon, that you want to learn. Whether it be you want to learn more about magic, you want to improve your magic, or the nature of it. Whether you want to understand better how to understand the natural world. Or, in the case of someone like Jack or even Brody, become better inventors, practice your crafts, that sort of thing.
I thought you said this was gonna be work.
It is work. Because I do expect results.
This is not hobby reading.
No, this is better. I'm picking up a book, already flipping through
I
them.
I like books.
He smiles. I assumed some of you would like this part a little bit better. He looks
Kind
to
of
Zay. He looks
strains
to
my eyes.
Yeah, he looks to Zay. What's Zay's reaction to this part of the training?
Liz, I think usually if I go for more than like 20 minutes, my eyes start getting like really straining, and I have to like do a couple push-ups to wake myself back up. But yeah, I could get through these. I'm sure something in this pile of books could.
It's more. I want you to find something you would like to work on specifically, and anything that catches your fancy. If you do need magical talent, or you need someone to, I don't know, supposed to work off of, you can either use each other, but I would recommend you use one of your fellow caravan members, or myself, or Zelvania, as all of you will probably be too busy working on your own things to assist one another. But it is entirely up to you.
I have a potential requirement to ask of one member.
Well, certainly.
And who's that from?
I would be requiring Vanessa for assistance on improving.
Certainly. So, all of you, fan out. The day is yours.
Spread your shit.
The day is yours. Bedtime is 8 p.m. flat.
Okay, I'm fine with that, actually.
And we're gonna have a whole week of this. Is that what you said?
Yes, a whole week. And there better be results by the end of the week, otherwise you won't make it to the Goat Man. Anyway,
Die.
anyway, good luck. Come to me if
Do
you
you-
need any assistance.
Do you require a shovel?
No, I don't need a shovel.
Henry jumps into the pile of books like Scrooge McDuck. into the void.
Yeah. So,
Henry, I was trying to read that one.
so this is the part where I kind of want to ask you guys, what exactly do you want to do? And keep in mind how we're doing level ups in this campaign. I guess I more want to just ask, this is why I asked specifically for all of you, what did you want to do and what did you want to take during your next level up? I would like to kind of go over a little bit here with all of you in order. What exactly you're going to be leveling up, and then exactly what you're looking like. What are you taking with your next level up? What feats? What ASIs? What multi-classing or whatever? And then tell me maybe how your character, how you want to go about achieving what you're trying to get. So I will start with let's start down and work up on my list here. Jack.
Jack is going to be taking a +1 in dexterity and a +1 in intelligence, which will bring him to +4 in both. And he will be taking the Artificer Initiate feat.
Okay. Yeah. So how do you want Jack to kind of go about getting the Artificer Initiate feat? Because I know you said that what you would like it to kind of look like is you make like a bunch of weird items, because that's kind of how Artificer spells work, as they manifest as like weird funky items.
So I think Jack will probably be training with Team Jack,
Anders and
like
Verdi.
Anders and Verdi, yeah. And they just kind of like, do a shit ton of experiments and stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, you would go and you see Anders. He has a makeshift table outside of the cart, and he is setting up a bunch of like alembics and alchemical equipment. And he's like, "Hey, Jack, this place is fucking nuts. There's plants here I've never even seen."
I know, right? She's got like at least 15 bottles of moose piss in there.
That's crazy.
Jack, we have to start cooking, Jack.
Oh my god, holy shit.
I know, right?
You think she's got like chimera parts or something? I've always wanted to dissect a chimera.
Probably. We should go look.
Oh yeah, fucking all right, come on, Verdi. And she's like, yeah, all right, I'll come with. she just follows. Verdi is maybe not the most helpful. I don't know exactly how intelligent Verdi is. She's not stupid. She's just not booky. But she's there. When you guys need something heavy lifted, she lifts it.
She's out there like casually like doing push-ups with the boulder.
Yeah, she's so strong. Verdi is so like alarmingly strong. You didn't break a sweat. So yeah, you guys would begin a large part of your training. You would begin fucking with various inventions, and just sort of investigating all of Madame Allegra's weird ass shit. She has a lot of it.
Like random explosions, just like keep rocking the ground throughout the day.
Yeah, a lot of
You're giving Brody PTSD
a lot
flashbacks.
of failed experiments. Okay, so that is with Jack. Next, I guess we'll do Brody, because he's next on my little list. So, you would approach Vanessica, and she'd be like, "Hello there, Brody. How can I help you?"
So we are assumed to acquire to do our own personal training regimen.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured assistance from you would assist into what I require.
And what would you like some help with?
I require intelligence and more knowledge, as well as improving the frame, more sturdier use.
I didn't want to say anything, but when I opened you up last, I did notice a lot of parts of your metal are super damaged.
Indeed.
I mean, you're practically falling apart. I don't know if I can help with intellect. I mean, do you know your alphabet?
He's sitting there considering that. It's like, it might be a few thousand years off.
A, B, C, D.
AGB.
Okay. You have the same alphabet as her. You both speak and read Common. 4,000 years ago, they still spoke Common. It exists for a reason. Unlike Europe, who refused to just make one language.
Oh, they had to make many.
In D&D, they're smarter than that.
Indeed.
Anyway.
But we can also work on theoretical physics.
She sweats. Brody, I'm a carpenter.
They could assist in carpentry. Understanding how to cut something requires
Is carpentry related to physics at all?
physics, geometry, and also trig.
Yeah, I mean they have numbers.
Oh,
They can be associated to one another.
no, I just cut the wood and build it. Okay.
But with physics involved, we can figure out what is required of what kind of ratios and lengths.
Are you sure you need help with the intelligence factor? I feel like you got that set.
How's the dinner?
I require more intelligence.
Get out of here, lady.
Get out of here, lady.
Jeez.
Get
You don't
out of here,
belong
lady.
here. I'm the only bitch in this Discord. You don't belong here. This here's my turf.
we invite another girl into the game and Spooky gets weirdly hostile.
for no reason.
You start mean girling her for no reason.
Yeah, I just get super aggressive.
Like, man, isn't she like a two-faced bitch? Oh my god.
Yeah, fuck that other girl. She didn't even have her own Discord. She's using fucking plaps. Dumb bitch.
Also, increasing my intelligence will assist in better knowledge of history and others.
Oh, that's how I could help you. What if I just taught you about what's going on in the world now? You never seem to know anything about what's going on.
Yes.
You don't even know MySpace isn't a thing anymore.
When was it? When
Oh
was it
no, you
gone?
poor thing. Yeah, we gotta talk.
Is it similar to No.
Here, sit down. I'm gonna open you up.
He'll proceed to sit into a position to get his thing open without prying.
Yeah, she would.
Brody spreads his legs.
Yeah, she
No.
would sit you down on a stool, and she would open up your back plate and various parts of your shoulder plates, and then over the next however many days, she would just work on you. She would replace pieces of your old metal, or as best as she can, try and with possibly your help fix it. Like knock out any kinks, replace parts of it with metal that they have lying around. And yeah, she just does her best to try and fix you up because you're a 4,000-year-old car and you're in desperate need of a tune-up.
And then also just talking about histories between
Yeah.
theirs and his.
Yeah, she would talk to you about the current, what she understands of the geopolitical situation between the Caerleon Empire and the Kingdom of Akrazar. She talked to you a little bit about Ikoria, which is the continent across the water, which seems to be causing quite a stir. She talked to you about things like that. Just general, what's going on in the world. Where
The
people...
common
I just want to
knowledge.
say really quick. She heard someone say, "Get out of here, lady," and she goes, "Oh, okay," and she like closes the door.
I thought that was your phone. My bad.
No, that was my girlfriend coming in to tell me that she's going out for the night.
Yeah, I thought someone was watching videos on their phone. My bad.
Well, then you should double down and be like, "Get out of here!" lady!" You should all said it.
No,
Yeah,
when I
but you
muted
also
myself
didn't
and she heard, "Get out of here, lady," I said, "Well, you heard her. Get the fuck out."
Exactly.
And she said, "Well, fine."
Listen to the lady on my computer. She's telling you.
the mean lady that lives in my computer and yells at me.
She's not as smart as Siri, but she's way more sassy.
Yeah.
It
like
has
Siri.
personality.
I'm like Siri if Siri could call you a cunt.
At least we're a few hours in, so we could say that.
Yeah, it's buried in there.
Yeah, we could say cunt.
That's my word. That's my word. Twitch, you can't tell me what to do. That's
Yeah.
my word.
True.
Well, if we
Spooky's
upload
been
it
called,
to,
Spooky's been called it enough by I think
Yeah.
only me.
She is woman. Hear her, not
Actually,
roar.
I
but
actually
call-
think that's true. I don't think anyone has actually ever called me that in my day-to-day. I think you might be the only person who's ever called
Am
me
I the only person in your
I think
whole
you-
life that's called you a
I really-
cunt?
People have called me a bitch before, but I really can't remember anyone ever calling me a cunt.
And I think it was over salad. It was like
I
the
think it was.
only
You called me a salad-eating cunt.
I stand by it.
You should. I am.
You are.
I want to get that tattooed on me, just so everyone knows.
right next to the hog.
Yeah, you get a
Yeah,
transcript that
salad-eating
says
cunt.
salad eating cunt.
Holy shit! Don't tempt me. That'll be wicked funny.
That'd be a
So what
great.
does this mean? Oh, it
What do
means
you
exactly-
think?
What do you? Yeah, it says right. What it says on the tin. What else would it mean?
On the tin. Anyway, but yeah, the two of you just you talk about some history stuff. So I will try and make a mental note of that when you make history checks, because
Alrighty.
you would probably know a little bit more about how the world fucking works now.
Yeah, he's not sitting there going like, "Well, this was what."
Yeah, I don't want to sit there and gatekeep you now and be like, you wouldn't know, you old
Yeah.
man.
The future is now, old man. You know nothing.
For the the third of you, actually, Henry.
Okay.
What's this motherfucker doing?
Well, I would take my 2 ASI in wisdom just so I could get a 20
Damn, son.
in wisdom. Yep, big brain. And then I think I'm gonna do meta magic adept, and then the 2 spells that I'm gonna take are twin spell and quicken spell. And then I
Mhm.
guess what Henry would be doing is he would be researching whatever the like in-universe concept of like action economy would be. He would be like looking up like how spells work, like the order they're
Yes.
used, like using 2 at the same time. How can you do that? How can you speed it up? How can you regain like spell slots faster if that's possible? Just like
Mhm.
that kind of stuff.
Interesting. So, there is a lot of dissection on this topic. However, it is a. I can't exactly say how Henry would feel about it, but a lot of this. Would you say Henry is a more logical person as opposed to a feeling person when it comes to his techniques and his abilities?
Nothing he does is logical.
Like do you
I-
think when Henry engages in magic and like swordsmanship and fighting and stuff, he does it more intuitively or he does it more like practiced, like he's practiced
It's definitely more like methodical, like practice. I think Henry is a very emotional person, but he makes all his choices as logically as he possibly can. So I think when he does magic or like swords, it's just via like training.
Yeah. He's doing what he was taught.
Yeah, basically.
So this is where I think the part on meta magic would scare Henry because meta magic is very difficult to understand from a logical perspective. And you read a lot about you ever read about it's really hard to understand because meta
It's like
magic
quantum mechanics. He's like, this doesn't make sense.
yeah.
What is this?
Yeah, there's a lot of rule breaking that happens in meta magic where like it's like, oh, you know, the laws of man, like the human body is only ever capable of casting certain spells one at a time. You can only shoot, you know, and these spells are limited by the natural reality and limitations of magic. Unless you're a sorcerer and you have magic flowing through your veins and you are a being who can innately tap into the magic that flows within your body, and then you just somehow break it in 2, and then you just double your output. And a lot of wizards, specifically, who write on this topic, don't get it, and they're like, "That's bullshit." And any book you find that is written from what looks like the POV of a sorcerer, who are people that are typically garnered as very skilled at meta magic and the idea of breaking and bending the magical rules of this world to their liking, don't really explain it very good because it's very intuitive. You do get in a sense that most meta magic seems to come from the idea that people who are sorcerous in nature, they have magic that flows through them. Like all living beings, you would know that all living beings have magic in them, but sorcerers have an innate connection to it. They can feel it a little bit better. The only equivalent I could come up with is imagine if like you're a human being and you could feel your blood pumping through your body kind of all the time. It's almost like that. It's just you can feel something that should, or you can tap into something that is almost always subconscious and unfeeling, and you can just tap into it. And it is that ability to tap into it that allows you to break things. Hypothetically, it is not impossible for someone who is not a sorcerer to do this, but sorcerers are kind of like they're like overflowing tea kettles. They have so much magic that some of it spills out, so they can kind of grab the parts of their magic that is spilling out of their body and turn it into shit. That's how you get, you know, sorcerers and stuff. Regular people can do the same thing, because magic, everyone can learn magic, unless you have some sort of genetic condition that forbids you from doing so. But yeah, so I would say definitely for Henry, this is difficult to understand because it's so weird and it requires such a strong lack of control.
Henry has like a Naruto training arc, but instead of a shadow clone, it's just him and Wispy keeps swearing at him. They're like under a waterfall. He's like, "Cut! Stop it! Help me!" And she's like, "Fuck you!"
As you're reading some of the books, you would be approached by Zelvania, who would kind of peer over your shoulder and be like, how is your training going?
Oh, uh, okay. I guess some of this stuff is a little bit hard to wrap my head around, though.
I see. She kind of leans down and looks at the cover of the book. I've actually read a lot of these books that you're reading.
Yeah?
Yes, that is how I learned my magic. I'm a
Oh.
sorcerer by trade, so Madame Allegra acquired a number of books in my youth that I had to study to better get it, I suppose.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
That's great. That's awesome. These are all really interesting. I don't know if they're actually going to be able to help me. I'm starting to think I might not be able to grasp this kind of stuff.
Truth be told, these books didn't help me either.
Oh,
I do know of a way that I could help you, if you'd like to, do the same thing I did.
yeah. Anything if that's all right.
Certainly. I will say though, it requires a little bit of creativity. My magic is I'll use my magic as an example. My magic it's very lightning based, if you can't tell. I believe it has something to do with my bloodline. Madame Allegra says I am related to some form of storm devil that probably exists in my lineage. My body sort of acts as a lightning rod, I guess you could say. And I found that my magic was surprisingly easier to control when, well, you put yourself in a position where there is lightning involved. Either from some form of, I don't know, transitor or even storms.
Oh, well, I don't really know what kind of magic I would have. I don't think it's lightning. How did you know that it was lightning again, or did it just sort of happen?
She scratches the side of her head. When I was a child, I was struck by a lightning bolt.
Oh, wow.
It was pretty bad. But
Yeah.
I kind of, to avoid it happening again, because it almost happened a few times, I sort of had to learn how to deal with lightning, I suppose.
Do you have any ideas how maybe I could find out about me?
You're a cleric, yes?
Yeah.
From what I know of clerical magic, it is derived from your faith, your inherent beliefs in what you stand for, and it is as a product of that faith that your magic is, it is how you control or manifest your magic.
That's my understanding of it, at least.
So, I suppose I would have to say, if you wanted to understand metamagic principle, the ability to bend and break magic, in a way, when I use metamagic, like haste on your friends, it's sort of like I have taken my innate lightning magic and twisted it. I suppose the only equivalent I could think of is making your own faith flexible and understanding it in a wider scope. That might have to be a question you have to find.
Henry just blinks at her. I don't know how I would do that.
I don't know either. I'm not necessarily religious.
Do you have any books on Varnix? Maybe that would help.
We do have tomes, religious tomes. Madame Allegra does keep collections of many of the light pantheon deities, as well as a few of the dark ones. I'm sure you can find something there. But a word to wise, I always found that when dealing with magic, it is a natural force, so it is best to be in a natural setting, a place that is comfortable for you, privately. For me, that was during the rain. I found it became much easier to understand the uses of my magic during such things. So maybe you can find something similar.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
No worries.
I guess Henry would try and find some more books and then go outside. And I guess his happiest place that he could be is if there was like, I don't know if there's like an open field anywhere with a lot of sun and he could just sit in the sun.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, I guess he'd just sit in the sun and just kind of flip through the books and try and like think about stuff.
Like what?
I don't know.
Get tan.
Well, because she said that like try and look at your god through a new lens and like bend that, and he's like, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's what he's struggling with because I don't think he really knows how to approach his god from a different angle because he's got such a very hyper specific version of his goddess that he's been exposed to. So
Sure.
I guess he would try and think of his goddess from different points of view. I don't know.
Sure.
Behind her.
Yeah, I'm rotating her in my head.
Interesting.
Spinning in circles.
So you kind of you read some of these books and read some of these tomes, and it, like you said, it's very hard to recontextualize what this goddess is. She's a healer. She's a protector. She's a very influential figure, in fact, and she's very involved in the world. And I mean, you've always been taught that Pharnix is arguably one of, I mean, in many spaces, worshippers of Pharnix tend to be fewer and far between. But in practicality, she is one of the greater deities of the Light Pantheon. She holds dominion over, well, half of the day, serving as the world's protector. You know, especially given Pharnix's aurora that exists at all hours of the day, just not visible during most of the year. She seems like she's like she works a lot.
It's a girl boss. It's
Girl boss, interesting.
It's an interesting. Make a just a wisdom check. Call it just a.
Yeah, because Melody doesn't know what the hell to do. Henry might, but alright. God damn it.
Yeah. There's also nothing necessarily to do. I kind of want to see what conclusions you would draw. But if you have no conclusions to draw as a character, then maybe.
I
maybe
think-
you don't level up, Bucky.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what he would do. And I feel like if the books weren't providing him with like the information that he needed, I think he probably would just kind of get frustrated and just stand out in the field. And do you remember in like the Spider-Man movies and Spider-Man was like doing that shit with his hand and like nothing was happening? I feel like that's like Henry out in the field, like, come on, just do it. Just work. Like he's like out in the field like trying to like,
he's just trying.
He's trying his best.
As you do that, Henry, it's been a very stressful couple of days.
He's so tired. Also, by the way, he's delirious. His patients are way shorter than they normally are. He's like getting pissed out there in that field.
Yeah, you're so tired. It's been such a stressful few days, and you're out here trying to gain a power that you possibly shouldn't even have.
This is bullshit. It doesn't make sense.
And it's very stressful. And as you sit there, the books on Pharnix and her purpose in the world and how much she does for it just are sprawled around you. I would say a thought crosses Henry's head for maybe half a second. Of, you gotta wonder if Pharnix feels the same way sometimes.
Like overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not a commonly conceived notion. Gods are gods. They exist theoretically at the heads of our reality. They define elements of our existence in full. But, I mean, Even gods were once children.
Does
Back when they
Farnix need a
were...
vacation?
Yeah. You kind of sit out there. You see the sun is sort of in its crescendo.
We invited Farnix to the training.
I guess after a while, he'd probably get sick of trying to force it, and he would just kind of like lay back and just try and like see if anything can come up naturally, like try and meditate, I guess, and like focus on his breathing and like his magic and all that.
You sit. You just sort of meditate. And it's cool. The air grows cooler in the day. And it's nice. There is one nice thing about this place, despite the context in which why you were here and what you were preparing for. It is very peaceful. And maybe for a moment, it's just nice to let go and to untense.
Henry unclenches for the first time in his life.
Suddenly, a diamond comes out.
The clenching. Oh my god.
Oh,
And as the moon rises, it's a very bright moon. Not quite a full moon. I would say it's about a oh
double.
shoot. Let me look up the phases of the moon. There's a lot of them.
I don't know them, so just describe it to me. Like almost a full moon where there's like a
The
little
waxing
sliver.
gibbous moon.
Yeah,
the
the
fucking
waxing gibbous.
Fuck is that? Is that like almost a full moon, but there's like still a sliver of the dark?
Yeah, it's a sliver of the dark. It's a sliver of the dark, and the full of the moon is facing the right.
Okay. Gotcha.
And it's nice.
Whoa, I love waxing gibbous moons. It's my favorite phase of the moon.
Waxing.
It reminds me of monkeys. Although I guess I don't really like monkeys that much anymore.
Henry, make another wisdom check.
Since the Farnix is very
man.
displeased that you don't like
Come
monkeys.
on. Yeah, she gets struck by lightning. Oh my god! Give me advantage. Be nice to me.
Sure.
Henry's punching the air. Henry's punching the air and rolling around in the dirt. He
Oh,
froze up.
Henry, as you sit there, the slightly obscured moon up above, you swear for a second. You see something move through the sky. And then around you, you swear, you feel a wisp move in your peripheral vision.
Wispy? Is that you?
As you look around, you see, just occasionally, almost like fireflies in flight, leaving these strange trails of light, almost as if they're scorching the sky around you, are just little strands of silvery light. And as you kind of look around, you get the sense it's probably happening, or maybe it has been happening the whole time you've been at Palecrest Manor. Whenever the moon is unobscured by clouds or overcast, there's just a little bit of light that seems to dance on the air of this strange magical grove. And it almost looks like you could reach out and touch it.
Henry would be super interested in this shit, and he would probably try and get close to it and study it.
Sure. Every time you get close to it, it leaves, and it runs away from you.
I guess he'd just sit down then and try and observe them as best he can.
Sure. You sit, you observe, you study them. They seem to move. Not quite like insects. They don't really move like that, but they seem to move very... like they're being carried. On some sort of wind. There's no breeze, but, I mean, maybe there is for whatever these things are, if they're even alive. I mean, this could just be magic for all you know. No clue. But there's a ebb and a flow to them. Almost like a rhythm. And you're a doctor, so you're pretty... have a decent understanding of your own physicality. You notice they seem to ebb and flow to your own breathing. And it's smooth. And it's simple. A simple response from your physical body on the magical world, resulting in the contraction, relaxation of a muscle. Yeah, you start to hyperventilate and then they disappear.
No, there's a bit. There's a bit.
Oh, okay. If you did do that, you could.
I shriek loudly.
It was a bit, I swear.
It is no longer a bit now.
But it's a very weird feeling to feel like something that you do almost subconsciously is connected or is having an effect on the world around you.
Would it be too meta to cast Identify?
As you go to cast Identify, you'd feel it would be very, very weird. You go to cast it, but almost like you're so tired and delirious, you don't say any words. You just wave your hand. And it works. The fastest version of Identify you've ever cast.
Holy shit.
But no, you get no information from the spell. But maybe for one night and for one spell, Henry experiences what it's like to quicken to cast a spell. And
Henry
it's-
makes the Poggers face and jumps up and runs back to the mansion.
Yeah.
Bro!
If there was a trick to doing it, it is basically to just sort of let go. It's like
He goes sliding into the mansion trying to tell everybody about it.
yeah, his legs are still so sore. So
Yeah, he like slams into the wall and like trips on the rug.
yeah.
You have to have an unclenched ass to subtle spell cast.
He's like running around like a dog that's on the
Literally,
hardwood floor.
kind of is what you need. You just need to kind of not be. It's why
That's
wizards.
so difficult for him. That's so hard
Yeah,
for him.
It's also why wizards have a hard time. Because I mean, imagine you've like studied magic your whole life, and you know, and then someone is just like, "What if you didn't do any of that, and you just sort of felt it out?"
Pissed off.
Yeah, Henry can practice that throughout the week if he likes. Just letting go a little bit.
Henry practices unclenching his asshole. He does wiggles every single day, and then that allows him to quickly cast.
Yeah, you're a character. I'll go next on the list.
Henry, I have great news. I think we have some toys that can help you with.
No, I got this, bro.
Midnight
Okay.
Caravan stays strapped.
Use lube.
He's like, no, I got this.
You-
You see this
you don't
flail
need-
I got from Madame
Oh
Allegra?
god.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Yeah, light the incense. It'll clear you out. It's like.
Yeah, I got this off of Goop.
Is it silicone based?
You know it's not.
I'll skip it. It's made of silver. I'll skip Ferrix because he's dead again. Zay. What the fuck does Zay do?
Okay, yeah, I have some ideas. I think we started off with the pile of books. And I guess he'll start exploring something new. I think he would probably look up some books on like famous swordsmen or travelers or stories about.
Can I also
specific-
can I just say I don't want to interrupt you, George. Can
Sure.
I just say I wrote down a list of things that I was gonna do with you guys, and all of you were like, "Hey, DM, I want to do the exact thing you were planning on doing for me." So that's pretty fun.
But yeah, I would read about no, not really. I would read about the blades and then probably lean into some of like the more entertainer or like music side of those famous people.
Sure.
And after getting those and studying, I think he would probably collect all the mirrors in the house and then stick them in one room and just train over and over again, and possibly try to learn how to imbue his sword with magic and different fighting styles of that.
Sure. So I will very specifically tell you. So you read a lot. There's a lot of swordsmen relating to the idea of like performers and also just famous sword magic users. You would read a book from slightly more recent history, which would talk about probably the most famous spellblade in history at the moment, who goes by the he goes by the name of Archmage Karok. He is a Goliath. He's a very specific form of Goliath Eldritch Knight who specializes in counter magic, and he serves as the Occulatus Inquiry's police force. You would know the Occulatus is the world's largest mages guild. He is probably the most talented spellblade in the world. Yeah, he is. He specializes in counter magic. He is the one guy in the Occulatus Inquiry who, if the Occulatus ever went awry, they would turn to him to deal with them. He was nicknamed the Mage Slayer during his youth. There's a lot about him, but his kind of magic is very specific because it deals in counter magic. Like he could hit people with his sword and take spell slots. He could counter. He could like cut spells in half out of the air. And while it was very cool, he never really had magic. Like he never really cast spells. It was mostly just the dismantling of spells was his trade. You would read a few other figures. You would probably eventually tap in a little bit into the creation magic myths and how music relates to that, because there is a lot to do with music and its fundamental effect on reality.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in this world that believe that music is at the center of all of creation, and that everything in the world can have a music note assigned to it. And they think that song is the most powerful form of magic in the world. That is very heavily debated in academic circles, and there's not too much evidence to prove it. The only real piece of evidence they ever have to even remotely assume that theory is true is a thing called the Song of Creation, which is the oldest text in the world. It's from before the current era, the Millennium era, and it's said to date back to the Divine era, which was when the gods lived on the planet, and they had just built the world. It's said to be one of the first ever things written was a song. A god etched into a stone tablet the lyrics to a song that they were writing. But the stone tablet is broken and scattered into many, many pieces, and they only ever found one. So many people believe that the gods used music as a way to create the world. There's a lot of debate. And it's a lot of dense reading, and I don't know if Zay would be that interested in it. Cause
You would have to take breaks and maybe like cut like a fruit in the air or something.
Yeah.
Do a couple push-ups and then get
But
back to it.
one thing that you do find interesting about some of these books is mention of a group of people called the Zelanti Saints. And they're a religious order, and they exist out of Ikoria. It is said that they still exist to this day.
You okay?
No! It is said that the Zelanti Saints still exist to this day. In on the continent of Ikoria, and they get their namesake from the Zelantis region, which is a mountainous region where there are no roads and no civilizations. And these saints, as they are called, are effectively worshippers of the old god Koteris, who is the god of freedom. Freedom and the sky, specifically. What you find out about them is their significance during the Divine Era. It was said that during the Divine Era, during the end of the Divine Era, when the Dark Gods created the monsters that would eventually plague the mortals of the world, mortals had to learn how to defend themselves, which was something they had never had to do before. And it was said that one of the first groups of people to ever do that were considered the Zelanti Saints. Obviously, this is such old history that no one quite knows if this is true or not, or how true it is, but it is definitely proven that they are one of the first orders of swordsmen to exist in the world.
Okay.
It was said that the Zelanti Saints were... Here, actually, let me pull up my article on them in World Anvil, because I have a thing. I have a whole thing written for them.
Damn, you got a whole separate page? That's cool.
Yeah, hold on, I gotta...
It's a whole chapter book.
Yeah, it's a whole thing I made. Why are you taking so long to load, you stupid
God, I
bastard?
want to get swole, not swollen the head.
God.
Zay is just listening to an audiobook about these guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Zay grabs Jacker Henry. He's like, "I'd fucking read this to me."
Read this to me now, nerd. Now.
Read.
But Zay, the whole point is that you're supposed to shut up, nerd. Read the fucking book.
Zay just shoves it into Brody's mouth like a shredder, and Brody just recites all of it.
And it takes twice as long because he's stuttering through it.
God.
Okay, I got it up. So, they are in service to the old god of Koteris, who is the former god of freedom. You would know he is former because he is dead as hell. It was said that it was said that he died at some point, either before the Whispered Era or about 5,000-ish years ago. His worship just basically disappeared, or at least his effects on the world. You would also know Koteris. You know a little bit about him due to your worship of the goddess Viani, who is the god of the sky and the wind. And it was said that at one point in history, Koteris and Viani were one of the first duos to share dominion over an element of life, which is not the most uncommon thing, but it is very unheard of. And it was said that Koteris and Viani were friends. They shared dominion over an aspect of life, which was the skies. It is said that the Zelanti Saints, the principle of their group, is they are in pursuit of peace above all things, which is what Koteris stood for. He wanted the world to know pure peace and bliss. And it is said that the Zelanti Saints are sword dancers, specifically. They practice a form of dance and song that the Zelanti Saints believe they can spread their good faith to the world, believing the art is an inherent act of unifications amongst all people, because they believe dancing is a language spoken by all.
Hell yeah, that's rad.
They practice an art that they invented. It was invented by their founders, seemingly during the Divine Era, called Zelanti sword singing. It is an art of combining fast movements and straight, narrow blades, usually reinforced by magical means. It is a very offensive style of fighting, with emphasis on taking advantage of opponents who swing overzealously. And it seems like a very dexterous style of fighting, interestingly. Very, very speedy, very fast. Some martial historians you would find, as you would dig deeper into the subject, argue this is one of the first martial forms ever made. But that is hard to say. But the emphasis on the parry and the riposte, and it also very specifically seems like it was a style invented to fight monsters, not people. The exaggerated movements and the quickness of it all seems like it is intended to take advantage of much larger opponents. Yeah.
But yeah, no, Zay would definitely lean into the research, especially what you said about Song being like the oldest language in the world. or
Yeah, they're very,
the
very
oldest language
old.
that exists in the world. But yeah, with all of that in mind, he's gonna try to imbue magic into his sword as he's training in that room, and maybe like even start like humming to himself or trying to find a tempo.
Is George really
in
quiet
his
for
voice.
anyone else?
Yeah, you are a little quiet, George. Just a tad.
Okay.
Just a smidgen.
Um,
That's better. I did hear you.
Yeah.
Though. Yeah. Yeah. If
he's
you'd
gonna be
like,
practicing.
you can even incorporate elements because these books. She does have books on like what they practice, like their forms. You can even
Oh yeah, 100%.
you can even incorporate elements. It's a little weird because you have to adapt parts of it because the Zalanti sword singing style is meant to be used with one sword, and it is usually a very narrow sword. You don't really use a narrow sword; you use a long sword, and you also use a shield. So you have to adapt elements of it to kind of better fit what you're going for.
Yeah.
You would jest, however, that this style of swordsmanship seems very heavily based on the idea of putting pressure on the person you're fighting so that they try to fight back against you to get you to leave you alone, and then that's when you strike. It's a very weirdly aggressive but patient fighting style, where you sort of try to take advantage of the fact that the people you are fighting make mistakes.
Yeah. But yeah, with that in mind, I'm gonna be bumping Dex by 1, Charisma by 1. For feat, I'm gonna be taking Magic Initiate to get cantrips in the spell, and I'm gonna be taking my first level of Bard.
Yeah. As you sort of sit there and in front of a number of mirrors, you just you swing and you practice, and you hum along, finding a rhythm in your footwork and in your various movements. And it's hard to say what you're practicing exactly, but it is something, and it's strangely fun.
Yeah, I'll take inspiration from the little tonic that Jack gave me with the imbuing fire onto his sword. And I'm just gonna try to do my own spin on that. Try to see if I could make a fire sword.
Yeah. So, that.
Copyrighted. You can't do that.
That's a
Not
fucker.
yours.
You fucker.
So,
Copyright
now
infringement.
my intellectual property.
Copyright infringement. Kill you.
Now we would move to Ferrix. What do you do?
Probably's gonna take more of a study approach.
Had to beat him early
He's.
because of
I'm
Nolan.
gonna take a +1 in Dex and Wisdom, so I get a 20 and an 18. He's gonna study like proper like wildlife, like animals that he might not encounter, studied behaviors of people, and people's interactions with certain creatures. And once he's like done reading up on like scientific facts of nature, he's gonna go out and spend a good amount of time like farther away from the library and actually sit out there and just kind of feel out like nature and like through meditation, taking the what does it say, the blind fighting, so that way he can
You
sense
cannot
what's
take
around.
blind fighting.
Cannot?
No, Conrad teaches you the fighting styles. I specifically said you cannot take blind fighting or the UA ones.
Oh, I thought that was considered official. My apologies.
It is considered official. I just made a point to say that Conrad is the one that teaches you the fighting styles, and he can't teach you blind fighting because he's not blind.
Yeah. Oh, I probably didn't mention that because you might have been deafened when he mentioned that part.
No, you were.
Yeah, I could have been deafened, so that's my fault. Sorry.
It's fine.
That's fine. Because of the weapon I use, I was gonna take dueling as a backup. Wielding a melee weapon, one hand, no other weapons, you gain a +2 bonus to damage rolls. He's probably gonna spend more time out in nature, just trying to get a better feel for nature. After seeing more of like the society life and civil living. Probably gonna try to compare that to what he already knows, and get a bit more practice in with his scythe.
Sure. The chain scythe and the quarterstaff. Well, the quarterstaff doesn't have to be. It's versatile. But the chain scythe is two-handed.
It's two-handed.
It's a two-handed weapon. You have to have two hands, and it is a reach weapon.
Okay, I was under the impression it was one. My apologies.
Oh, good. And Brody's thing is also two-handed, so it's not a one thing.
Whoops. Hold on. That's not what I wanted to do. Yeah. Yeah, here's where I set it. The fourth...
Oh, I believe you, man. I believe you.
Could take a great weapon fighting that could help with a scythe.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
your
true.
quarterstaff.
Yeah, I'll do the great weapon fighting then.
Yeah,
Thank you for that.
because you reroll ones or twos.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Read right over that. Thank you. But no, Ferrix's main focus is just taking kind of what he already knows and studying it from different angles, comparing it to what people have studied instead of just based on nature and feeling and instincts. He's actually going to try turning this into a studied art instead of just an instinctual art. Taking the feat skill expert, taking expertise in nature and proficiency in animal handling. There it is. And then he's definitely going to be focusing as well on how to use his ability to the shifting feature more sparingly and when it can benefit a fight more than anything.
Okay. Okay. So you would study. You would start trying to take notes and things on the world around you. Yeah, you can all roll hit dice, by the way. You can all roll hit dice and start adding in the stuff you'd like to.
I think his second 2 out of 3 rolls.
Jesus, God, you know what? Reroll that. Fucking reroll that. That's
my.
that.
Do we finish training the fighting styles as well?
Ah!
Oh, wow.
All right. Well, I gave you the reroll. Now I have to deal with this.
What's Jack at now?
This will make him 36 from 24.
Oh my god, that's actually a much needed bump. Holy shit.
Jesus Christ.
I just got 32 hit points. I'll take it.
I'm the glass of the group, aren't I? I'd
Might
not
be.
even breached 30.
Hey, I wouldn't have if not for this.
Hey, I got a 19 armor class now.
Noise.
If we finish training the fighting style, then I have a 21 AC now.
Damn, everybody's rolling like shit, huh?
That's why I hate rolling for hit points. I always roll like dog shit.
You don't have to.
We could take average.
Why did
Oh,
you?
I
You
don't?
never roll.
I thought you had like a rule for this campaign where everyone was having to do it.
No.
Oh shit!
It's
All right, well,
you
then never
one or
mind.
the other.
Yeah, you pick. I don't think I've ever made it a rule you have to roll. I just neg you if you don't.
You didn't before, but I was under the impression for this one it was different.
Oh no
Okay, cool.
no! You can take your average if you really want. Yeah, because you never
Yeah.
roll.
No, I don't. For this is why.
Yeah, no. Take your average. You always take average. I'll just assume. No, everyone else rolled by choice.
Settling for average instead of going for a nice guy like me, just like a woman. Am I right, boys?
Goddamn right.
Have to appeal to the male
I'm
fantasy.
25, Connor. I'm past my peak. All right, I gotta settle.
Yeah,
I gotta
you're-
settle for average, okay?
Yeah, you're a post wall female.
I know. I'm basically deteriorating, dude. I'm falling off the bone.
Yeah.
Falling off
Look,
She's a wet fucking paper.
looking like
towel.
fucking Ray
I'm
Ayanami
a
at the end of
fucking-
Galleon.
Exactly, dude. I'm a spinstress, dude. I have
Yeah.
nothing.
Any case.
Femoids take what they can get.
So, as you all sort of take to your training, the days would go on, and they are hard every single day, and it sucks. Conrad occasionally adds new things to the workout regimen, and they always suck. He's like, climb this tree, and it's like, that's a 100-foot tree. That's too big. You can't climb that much tree.
I can climb that much tree, just like ascending vertically with a bunch of
I send a godhood. No, stop.
Yeah, no, it's miserable. But the second part is kind of fun for all of you. That's where you get to do things you actually like and get better at them. But somehow, you gotta get tougher somehow, right? And the only way is to get fucking jacked.
Woo!
So,
Nano machines, Jack.
yeah, as you all take, there's eventually a night of rest, and especially for you, Brody, by the way, because as the weeks progress, you all notice Brody got a fresh coat of paint. Man, he's starting to look. Brody looks pretty fucked up before, but he looks better. You don't look like you're not like polished. You're not like shining. You know, you don't look brand new. But you
I'm
definitely.
look worn, not
Yeah.
factory new.
Mm-hmm. But you
I
definitely
like
look.
your cut, G.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you slap him.
Is that Chrome? Oh my god.
Ow!
He definitely looks better. He doesn't look as damaged. He doesn't look as old. He's not creaking as much. And also, you're bigger.
He's swole.
Yeah, you got like bigger somehow.
Because he took +2 for his intelligence, and then he picked up the brawny feat.
His name's not Brawny, it's Brody. Right?
So, as you all eventually, on what is believed to be the day before your sixth day, the day before your final day, you all take a rest, a much needed one, and Brody, you sort of just sit down to power down. But as you do, Brody,
Oh.
Haha.
you get a message in your vision, written in the gold light. Shutting down. System maintenance. And then your vision goes dark.
Please restart to install Windows Update.
No! Decline! Stay on XP! God damn it!
And eventually, you feel a spark as your vision comes back to you. And you feel yourself awoken from a deep shutdown. You are located in a loading bay, jam-packed with crates, carts, all kinds of things. And there's even other machinery all around you. Shut down. Your comrades, so to speak. And you can feel that you are in a vessel. Specifically, the loading bay of the Harpy. A vessel that carries all of you and your company through the sky, leaving a low, melodic screeching noise as it sails through the atmosphere above. A look out one of the portholes would reveal it's nighttime still, and the ground is thousands of feet beneath you. Pitch black. In fact, you can't even tell if it's ground or ocean that you're sailing over right now. There's no light in sight. You recognize that you should be en route to the capital, but you weren't meant to awaken until you arrived. It's an odd feeling. This doesn't happen often, but then again, in the last few days you've had a few odd things happen. Strange hesitation in committing certain orders. Strange shutdowns. Pauses in reasoning. But your heads-up display sparks, almost glitching into view, like a corrupted program. There is no protocol number, just an order written in a gold script of light. Goater, is all it says. What do you do?
He'll look around to see if there's any other crew members moving about before disconnecting himself out of his harness.
None here. Yeah, you would disconnect yourself. The copper rubber wires kind of hit the ground as they kind of only slightly spark as they exit your body.
And he'll neatly try to wrap it up to make it look like it was meant to be an empty seat before proceeding to find where Bridget is.
Sure. You make your way. You notice all of your comrades from your platoon. They are all also shut down, just sitting there. Many of them looking remarkably similar to one another, almost the same. You would eventually break away into a hallway, and they're really rather tight, especially for you since you're so big. Not that you really care. Occasionally you would see a soldier who would pass by you, seemingly on the night shift doing rounds. But the soldiers do always give you the right-of-way, especially with a salute. You may be a construct, but you hold a unique position amongst the company, especially given your creator.
He'll hesitate seeing those, and then would hesitantly return the salute before proceeding.
Yeah, they seem to awkwardly kind of salute and walk down the hall. You'd occasionally hear a whisper of being like, "So is that the one?" And they're like, "Yeah, it is." As you walk down the metal corridors, you would eventually find yourself on the deck of the Harpy. The sky all around you rushing through your gears and through your body as you are sailing on this massive ship. Fucking huge. It's like an aircraft carrier in terms of size. Probably a little smaller, but still very big.
Yeah, enough that it's like, oh shit, it's an airship.
Yeah,
in the sky.
it's a big air. You'd think it's a floating island at first. Bitch is big.
And it's moving. It's not like, oh, we're just cruising out of the
It goes
small
fast.
pace.
It's fast. The fact that people walk on the deck of this thing is a safety hazard, to be fair.
Yeah, to where he's like bracing as he's walking because he's unsure when the winds would shift.
Yeah. As you walk, you would see coming up from also under the deck. No, I'm sorry. You would see, because the Harpy, how it is designed, it does have sort of like, it has like perches, right? Sort of almost like crow's nest towers that people can inspect the horizon around them, in case there's other air traffic and whatnot. And you would see hanging from one of those. You see something and it catches your eye. You see a figure dangling absent-mindedly from a length of chain. And you recognize them. Massive, like in frame, like even bigger than yours. And yet, they're spindly. Like, they're taller than you and they're bigger than you, but they're so, like, proportional to their own size, like, narrow and strange. Their arms and legs very long, but the torso, the chassis of this construct is remarkably small. And yet, in the center of it, they have almost like a circle, a sort of, almost like a dull, glowing blue circle in the center. Their face is, like, very, very narrow, but it kind of goes back. The back of their metallic skull almost sort of has, like, a bit of pullback. And they have a series of spikes that go along from the forehead up along the ridge of their back and then down their spine. And you see their head turns, going from upside down to right side up before their body does, almost like they are two segmented pieces entirely. And then the figure descends to the deck. You would recognize this construct. A member of the Freaks, nicknamed the Spider.
He will give a proper salute, noting that he is a freak, in which he is also of higher ranking.
That he is. His eyes, which you would notice, only one seems to be active, but he has many that seem to be dormant for some odd reason. You would jest that this has to do with the fact that the many different eyes of the spider allow the spider to see, theoretically, from what you know of, you haven't been informed too much of the capabilities of this construct, he can theoretically see magnetical topography of the world. Sort of like if you ever took like a sub-sonar scan of the bottom of the ocean and you can kind of make out the shape of it. He can kind of do that with his eyes.
Huh.
And apparently, with all of his eyes open, he can see up to 10 miles. His vision capabilities are insane. He can see colors that don't exist on our visible spectrum. He can see vibrations in the air, things like that.
Things that a normal person would never know.
Yeah. So any of the few times you have seen this construct, when it wasn't out in the field, it would almost always be with only one or maybe two eyes open. The construct walks over to you with a hunch, and yet with the hunch it is still taller than you, and it just looks at you. Well, what are you doing awake?
I've received orders to return.
Orders from who?
No clear designation was given, just a location.
He kind of looks at you, just sort of prowling, almost, just staring down at you.
Brody's going to be doing like the dead stare of like not staring at it, but still being aware of where it is.
You are special, no? The soldiers have nicknamed you Brody. It's not often a member of your unit, the Scrappers, gets a nickname. Less so that one like you. And to have Mother take such care, I wonder. And you feel the strange metallic fingers of this creature tap at your back. I wonder what is inside of you that is so unique.
Currently unclear. I'm, as remembered, one of 7, but at last of the 7.
Looks at you. You. Scrapper units. Designed without personality protocol. It makes you oh so dull to speak to. It cocks its head once more at you. You're lucky it was I that found you.
Which unit might have found me?
Well, if the Alpha Master laid his eyes upon you, you'd have been tossed off the edge of this ship. You should be weary of that one, Brody. He doesn't much care for those that he thinks are lesser than you. He's very competitive for our dear mother's affection.
Duly noted, to make sure to not be BB spotted.
Well, then go on now. You have your protocols.
Brody would salute once more and proceeds to walk off.
As you
But
walk,
then just quickly do one glance to see if it's still staring.
when you walk, you take a few steps forward and you turn back, and it is no longer there, and you did not hear it make a single sound.
Internally, he's shuddering like, ugh,
Yeah.
freaks.
Yeah, they earn their name. They are not normal. But you eventually would make your way through the upper part of the deck of the Harpy, because there's sort of like a large series of, I guess what you could call like captain's quarters, but they're huge, and they comprise many of the higher officers up on the top of the deck, and you would go to where your creator lies, Bridget. And as you would get to her door, at the end of a hall, it is obviously the door of your High Commander, she who commands this vessel. You would approach it. But even before you have the opportunity to knock, you see... Well, actually, yes. No, go ahead. What do you do at the door?
He would stand before it, look to see if anyone is observing.
No one's here. You've only seen a few soldiers, but anytime the soldiers see you, they don't bother you. You get the sense a lot of the soldiers, especially the ones, they're not really like in charge of the constructs. So a lot of the ones that aren't just sort of let you do what you... They just assume... It's weird. They don't assume you're up to no good.
They think I'm just doing something.
They think you're doing something that you were told to do. And a lot of these guys who are patrolling, who are working the night shift, are lower rank. So they're like, I'm not going to fuck with this. Because they're like, they're like, I'm not fucking with this.
They're way bigger, harder, and also could probably throw me off the bridge.
Yeah,
real
I'm not
fucking quick.
I'm not fucking with that. I don't get paid enough. So yeah, they definitely don't really mess with you.
And then he'll proceed to do 3 quick knocks.
You do. There's a few moments pass, and you would see the door opens, but it's not your creator. It's not Bridget. You instead see a man, middle-aged, rough stubble, messy brown hair. He is hastily putting on his uniform of a military officer. This man is no mere merc. In fact, he is but one of the fellows who hires your company to, do the work that you do. He would see you, his eyes would widen, and then he would be like, he would awkwardly turn. Commander, one of your constructs. And you would see the familiar visage of your creator, Bridget, kind of peek from the slightly open door. And she would just narrow her eyes. Brody? I'm sorry, Lieutenant, if you could excuse us. He awkwardly nods and shuffles past your large frame in the doorway.
He's not making any effort to move because he's unsure of what's going on.
Brody, come in here. She rubs her eyes, very tired.
You will go in very stiffly.
Shut the door, please, Brody.
Just quickly shuts it, but quietly as well, so he's not making it rattle or break or do something wrong because he know he can potentially break it.
Yeah. Bridget would stand, go and put on a shirt, and be like, "All right, what do you need, Brody? Why are you awake? You're not supposed to wake up till landfall."
I received a message to come to you.
Her eye kind of twitches. That glitch again. Sit, please.
He'll find a spot that would support his frame before sitting.
Yeah, a stool. She would pull it up. She'd tell you to sit, and then she would go behind you, and then open up your back plate. So, you said it was a message again this time?
Yes. Golden scripture. No protocol, no identifier.
This isn't the first time this has happened. She begins to, she goes over to a table and she pulls out a set of artificer's tools. You are not disfamiliar with them. She uses them to work on you quite often whenever you need regular maintenance. You would also note you are apparently the only construct she works on by hand. She delegates that work to the rest of her employees, as it were, for the other ones. But she would eventually walk over to you and throw on a pair of goggles, and then you would hear the sounds of her tinkering and taking things out, unscrewing things, and just inspecting. Well, Brody, how do you feel when you get these messages? How do you feel right now?
I'm unsure. It's unclear as to why. But I feel compelled to carry it out.
Do you feel anything else? Any sort of desires, opinions, anything that could indicate a personality protocol?
Unclear at this time. No surface of personality to knowledge. I also want to apologize for interrupting.
She sighs. You're quite all right, Brody. My nightly affairs were just finishing for the evening anyway. We all must find a way to pass the time on these long voyages. We're not all as lucky as you constructs to just simply be able to fall asleep for weeks at a time.
Well, it might seem like sleep, but we just turn back on, like time has not passed.
That's not too dissimilar to what sleep is. Except, I suppose the difference is that we dream. Do you dream, Brody? Have you ever experienced a dream?
What is a dream?
Well, when you shut down, do you ever have thoughts like you're somewhere else? I know it's a silly question to ask. You're a construct. You're not given the capacity to dream. But until I'm able to find out what this glitch in your system is that has been plaguing us these last few months, I have to ask.
No. I do not suspect any such.
You can't see her face. Actually, make an insight check.
Alright.
You hear her sigh. That's very high. She sounds disappointed when you say no.
Am I supposed to? Outside of the general protocols.
You feel her hands stop working, and she slowly puts on your back plate. As she does, her hands just stay there for a second. No, Brody. You are not meant to experience dreams, emotions, feelings, and certainly not orders from anything that is not me. When we get back to the capital, I'll have to really figure out what this is.
All right. I do have a inquiry.
By all means. She walks over to a boudoir that she has, and then she kind of reaches into one of the drawers on it and pulls out a cigarette and a lighter. It is a gold-plated lighter with what looks like 2 initials on it. The initials are, and I'm not making this up, and this is your fault, by the way, Alan, B, and J.
Oh, God. I did not realize that.
Your fault.
Yes.
I take no responsibility.
This
My
is
God, she's
fault.
Beetlejuice.
Fucking knew it, dude.
Fucking do it. Anyway, yeah, and she would put it back.
What? I now encountered 2 inquiries.
Go ahead. She takes a hit off her cigarette.
First, what should I do if Alpha Master finds me during one of these accidental trips?
She looks at you very sternly and says, if he lays a hand on you, tell him I'll send him to a fucking scrapyard. I don't
Duly
care if he was made by the capital scientists. He lays a hands on one of my constructs. I'm turning him into a fucking toaster. She takes another hit of her cigarette. I
Duly
hate
noted.
I hate that we have to bring around these fucking pushy bureaucrats and pen-pushing soldiers on these trips.
They make life worse.
That they do, but they don't trust mercenaries to deal with their situations abroad. They're hiring us to kill people, not mend diplomatic relations.
We are also not able to do efficiencies either, as they might tribunal us.
Efficiencies. Trust me, Brody, we are nicer than the military. The only reason they send us, and not their own soldiers, is because they're cheap. It's more expensive to send their soldiers than us. Fucking cheapskates.
Can't pay if it never exists after.
Your second inquiry.
It is a personal inquiry I might put together. What does the initials refer to on your lighter?
She looks at the lighter. She absent-mindedly flicks it open, flicks it shut. She does that a few times. Brody. It's a name, Brody. My husband's name. Bradford Jekyll.
Sounds like a great name.
He hated it. He hated the name Bradford. But
Because
in a military sense, he always had to be called it. You weren't allowed to be called anything but your true name.
I can only imagine what might be said of his name.
He's very talented. Very talented man.
Is he aboard our company? Is he separate?
She looks at you, and you see she has, her eyes have begun to water. No, Brody, he's not here anymore. He's gone. But,
Well-
and she flicks open the lighter and she lights it. I still have pieces of him. Here and there.
I apologize if I caused distress.
It's not your fault, Brody. It's not your fault.
Do you require comfort per protocol 223?
No. No, I'm alright, Brody. She wipes her eyes. I noticed you have some internal damage. I don't know where that was caused. You haven't been in combat, have you?
No. Last combat, I was off in the wings to observe.
I wouldn't have missed that. From now on, Brody, you are not to stay in the holding bay of this ship while we sail. Not until I figure out what is causing your glitch. You are to power down here from now on, in my quarters. You may find a corner of the room to your liking.
Would you like me to be in a corner of display or of hiding?
Just pick a... Don't hide in the... Just sit in the chair, Brody.
He will proceed to sit in a chair by a corner. Not in the immediate sense of like walking through a door. You won't see him.
Oh, God. You're so awkward.
I
You-
figure probability is it's unseemly for my unit to be seen.
With all
in
due
this setting.
respect, Brody, this is my ship. If someone has a problem with me keeping my robot in my quarters, they can go overboard.
I would gladly assist.
I know you would, Brody.
Is there anything else you require before initiating shutdown?
She thinks for a moment. Brody,
Yes.
is your favorite character from that play you always talk about still Kilroy? The one who
Indeed.
shoots the human people or whatever?
Where he says the line, kill them all and let the machine sort them.
Yeah, that.
It is still my favorite thriller character.
She laughs. What a sick, twisted movie they made. We invented constructs capable of following our every will, and then some nutter thought it'd be funny to make a science fiction piece about what if they murdered all of us.
Sometimes humor could be found in weird ways.
She flicks the lighter again. I'm just glad to hear it's still your favorite.
But by chance, do we know when it would happen again?
Well, we can't watch it here. We have to go back to the capital.
Indeed. I was wondering of date, potentially,
Oh,
to
fuck,
see it.
fuck if I know. We'll figure it out, Brody. You hardly ever have requests. Least I can do is, answer a few of them.
I appreciate it.
Get some sleep, Brody.
Will do.
And maybe this time she kind of walks over to you and she puts her hand on where your neck is, kind of at the base of your where your shoulders meet, like the base of your skull and your spine.
Yep.
Maybe this time, try to dream. And she shuts you down. And eventually you would wake up.
Is it a long period of when he was out?
It's the next day. You were out longer than you usually are. Usually you wake up in the middle of the night and then just stare at your friends.
Like a creep that he is.
Yeah. But this time
Even
you
though he
wake...
doesn't think it's creepy.
Yeah, but this time you wake up to a rising sun.
He would stare into the sunset, not sunset, sunrise, and think hard on what he just remembered. And tried to figure why.
Brody.
Yeah.
Something's weird. You feel... You feel like, in your body. There's, feels like something is there. Like inside your chassis. In your chest.
He'll try to open his chest to the best of his ability.
You do. And as you do, falling out on the ground, tink, 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 is an old, damaged, gold-plated lighter. With 2 initials.
He'll stare at it, trying to comprehend the reason how it got there and how long it's been lost.
You get the sense
then-
it was put inside of you, seemingly stuck there at one point in history. And maybe now it was dislodged. With all the intense repairs you've been undergoing since your awakening, maybe something's been jostled.
He'll pick it up and flick it open and try to light it, but knowing of no hope that it would light.
It does light. Brody. You, without thinking, you feel your left hand reach for something. Brody doesn't have pockets, does he?
The closest thing to a pocket would be his bag folding.
Yeah, no. You would reach to where on a person a pocket would be, but when you don't find one, you find yourself weirdly, like, out of body. And you really want a cigarette. And you don't know why. Because you've never had a cigarette.
Oh, man.
And that is where we'll end tonight's session, I think.
Yo.
Really good music, those last 2 songs. I wonder where they came from.
Shut up, honestly.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, way to
must be
stroke
very
your own
talented.
fucking cock, bro.
Man, it's so erect that if he turns around, we have to duck.
But I will say
Damn.
it was good. Those might be some of my favorite pairs of songs. That,
Actually, this
Connor's
last
wrote.
song when it was playing, I was like, "Damn, this is really good." And I actually went and I checked, and I was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
So, are we not going to
This is
discuss
what we-
Brody's apparent nicotine problem?
Yeah,
Brody,
Brody,
this
you
is
have an addiction.
intervention,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Next session, we have an intervention for Brody.
Yeah, next session we we unlearn Brody's character development.
You want to hear have a light?
He's going to sit there and be like speed running cancer with a giant funnel.
Hey, man.
Yeah. Jack, we have to cook meth. I have lung cancer.
I can't.
Hey, whoa. We did establish that Brody can be used to cook soup, but can he be used to cook
Can he cook
meth?
As a bong, no.
Yeah.
You can use
Can we
Brody as a
Brody
bong.
as a bong?
You can use Brody as a bong. Yeah. You can use a person as a bong. That's not that
That's,
far.
that's what the
Don't
initials
say
stand
that.
for. It
Don't
stands
say
for
that.
bong.
Don't say that.
What do you
not
mean?
That's what the
You
initials
could
stand
use
for.
a
It
person
stands for
as a
bong juice.
once.
Nar.
Yeah, it will be the last time you use a person as a bong. You get one. Yeah. I hope Alan, you liked that little scene. Like I said, I want to do these every time you level up.
Yes.
Hope for the rest of you it wasn't too much to play spectator for a minute.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Fucking awful. Do it
I
again.
had to do all my multi-class stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
level up, get our shit jacked, and we're going to hopefully not get jacked ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
What?
give you guys inspiration.
You're not getting jacked, bro.
No!
Brody
No!
didn't get jacked.
I wanted the goat to jack me.
Come on.
Come on.
Whoever talks about fucking the goat is a furry, and
Insta-band.
Take that.
I had a joke I was gonna say, but I forgot which
I'm
stream
shipping
it is.
Brody with the goat now.
Yeah.
The hamster with
should.
the goat. Yeah.
No, I just-
Oh shit!
I will
It's
say,
it's the broat ship.
Oh, let me know when the stream is off because I actually forgot to like update you guys something about
sure.
me.
I'm gonna end the stream now. Goodbye.
See ya.
Bye, gamer.
Bye.